All right, there we go. Day number 2 of week 7 of the Nightfall Champions League. Yesterday we got to see two series. One first series between Fruition and Recon 5. Recon 5 taking it home 2-1 over Fruition. Fruition did really well in the first game, was able to hold off Recon 5, but then in game number 2 and 3, Recon 5 turned it around in their favor and completely dominated their games and gave themselves the number 1 spot here, tied with Lakeside, because now in the second series of yesterday's matches, Lakeside took on Impulse Ghosting. Impulse Ghosting had a chance to put themselves around the 4th place, 3rd place area and even have a higher chance of being in the 3rd place spot, but were taken down 2-0 by LSG. Now LSG, because they did win their match yesterday, they are now tied with Recon 5 in the 1st place position. And today, with this series, we have Cetra Gaming takes on Polar Ace. And here's the big factor for these teams. Polar Ace and Cetra Gaming are fighting for the 5th place spot. The reason why they want to win this game is because if you lose this series, that means the 6th place team is going to be playing the 3rd place team, which is Fruition at the very moment. So right now, this series is going to come down to who is going to go against Impulse Ghosting and who is going to go up against Fruition in week 1 of the playoffs. Now, this is going to be an intense matchup between the two teams. We are getting ourselves set up at the very moment. I'm waiting for some answers from some of the players now, but to talk a little bit more going into this game, Cetra and Polar Ace definitely have shown that they can be a strong contender when they go up against these higher teams like Recon 5 and Fruition, Recon 5, Fruition, Lakeside. But the thing is, they're not able to close it out. You see these games where they end 2-1. They're able to hold up and get at least one game and take it home. And then in the other games, they give Fruition, Recon, Lakeside a really good fight and are not able to take it home for themselves. So definitely teams to keep an eye out for when the playoffs begin. But for this series, the key here is to decide who goes against who in the first week. And then after they move on past that, the top 2 teams, Lakeside and Recon 5, they get a bye week and have already put themselves in the semifinals. And we'll see going up to then who is going to be going up against Lakeside and Recon 5. And with that bye, definitely is going to help out Recon 5 and Lakeside. They get a little chance to take a break, maybe fix their mental with their team, work things out. But the rest of these teams, they got to put in the effort, put in the work, and really try to focus on the fact that this is it. This is week 7, and then we have the playoffs, and that's it. We're getting closer and closer to the final prize. So we'll see how this is going to go for Cetra and Polar Ace. Cetra is going to be on the red side, while Polar Ace is going to be on the blue side today. Now they're all hopping in the custom match at the very moment. Waiting to see possibly where they're going to go. Something else that we did see a lot yesterday, and Pretty Boy helped me out in the second series, Lakeside Gaming and Impulse Ghosting. One thing that he really noted that Lakeside Gaming is very good at is the team compositions, and Impulse was almost able to pull it off against them. A very odd ending to game number 2. Looked like a base race, but really wasn't. It was just more of miscommunication on the side of Impulse, and Lakeside was able to take the victory over them. Definitely something to favor out for these teams, because you've seen before Polar Ace has played those team fight compositions pretty well and are able to hold their own. And because of the last series that we just had, there's a higher chance for Cetra Gaming to be able to counter that with the split push composition, and also something that is just a lot easier to take advantage of, because Polar Ace is not at the level of Lakeside at this very moment. They do have phenomenal players, but it just seems like when it comes down to the later end of the game and these macro style of plays and focused on these objectives, it gets really difficult to figure out what is going on, or what is going on and what to do. I just looked into the chat. Why are you wearing sunglasses? It's my thing. I wore these on the first day. It broke, pulled on some sunglasses, and now became my thing. So I wear sunglasses while I cast. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to see my eyes, then you go over to the podcast and you'll see a little bit of it. Not exactly sure why you would want to do that, a little creepy, but hey, we all have our quirks. All right, these teams are going to just ask quickly if they need a pro draft or if they're just going to still figuring out, both teams getting themselves set up at the very moment. Okay. I like that, Frost. All right, so it looks like they are going to go into a pro draft. So the pick and ban phase will take a little bit longer, but nothing to worry about. We will get ourselves into the pick and ban phase shortly, but it may take a moment. I saw you holding that smile. Hey, man. I appreciate that comment. I looked at it and I really enjoyed it. So hey, I'll let the smile flow. I'll let it come out right now. It was good. I liked that. It caught me off guard. All right, so now we're just waiting on the pro draft at the very moment. And one thing else to note in the Fruition versus Recon 5 match is something that we really wanted to take a look at was the fact that when Fruition was playing Recon 5 in that series, game number 1, it just seemed like Fruition was on point. They had their calls. They were working well together. And Coach Matt was putting up a very well put together team composition. But then in game number 2 and number 3, they were not able to pull it off as well. Little miscommunications here and there. The comms weren't was not what they wanted. Hey Zona, you're cute when you smile. Thanks, man. Will you be casting the tourney Saturday? I do not know. I can get back to you on that one later on. If somebody can give me the money for Ray-Bans, I'm totally down. But hey. All right. Both teams giving me the invite for it. All right. Sorry, I know there's points where it seems like I'm not focusing or I'm having a little bit of issue, but it's just me trying to set up and keep the things rolling for you so that we can get into the game faster. Yeah, so every once in a while when I take a look at something and stop talking, that's me trying to get a head start on what is going on for the next match so we can get ourselves into it. Right now, both teams are just deciding on who specific or what are the bans, what kind of things that are not allowed to have, which right now, the bans that are not allowed or you're not allowed to have are the Aatrox and the Blitzcrank. Something that we noted yesterday in the series is the reason for those bans is because the patch has just come out Tuesday night. And the reason Aatrox specifically is mainly focused on the being banned out is because there's so many changes to his kit, and we didn't have enough time for our players and for the teams to practice these champions and be able to use them properly. So we wanted to make sure that no team had an advantage, and like if in case one player decided to just play on the PvE and practice Aatrox, didn't want that kind of thing to happen. So wanted to make sure that that was fully gone. Something else to note that we did see a little bit of yesterday. We saw a lot of Braum, and we did see more Namis come out. Nami has been a very strong support lately and something that you see many times in solo queue, but when it comes down to the Champions League, you usually see the Galio, the Braum, we've seen Tarek, but we haven't seen too many of Soraka, Namis, and slowly they're making their way back up, and we're starting to see a little bit more. The Nami definitely was super strong in game number 1 for Fruition on Phoenix main. Game number 2, it didn't go out as well as they planned, but still, over the course of the yesterday's matches, Nami was picked up and did play a key part into their team comps. Right now, I'm just making sure that everything is set up and ready to go. I keep repeating myself on that. All right, let's get ourselves the link. There we go. All right, doesn't look like they've started yet. I think they're going to take a second. All right, in the chat, and I want to see also, make sure we put this in so that we can get an opportunity to see what you are looking for in this match. Is Cetra Gaming going to take this home, or is Polar Ace going to be the one to put themselves in 5th place? On the bottom of your screen, you will be able to see a voting system. Click on that and go over and vote to see who you think is going to win between these two teams. All right, Polar Ace having a little trouble, gonna get themselves started in just in a very moment. So many things going on. Wow. All right. A little bit more about yesterday. If you did not watch, with those games, Lakeside really did dominate and have a pretty good. At least game 1, game 2 was a little bit harder for them. Impulse put up a fight because of the team composition that they had, which was the split push versus a team fight composition. One thing else that I will note that gave Impulse the advantage is Sejuani. I believe it was Biloxi. I could be wrong. I get them mixed up because I saw him on Sejuani at least once yesterday, with the very well done Baron steal over the pit. He gave it to his team, and Jax was on the opposite side of the map. Rexless was able to just push out the turrets with no problem, and that Baron gave them the advantage, and then the game ended with a little bit of miscommunication. Sadly, for Impulse, they did get taken down, put into 4th place, but that is something to really keep an eye out for any team that makes it up to where they will go against Lakeside in the semifinals. Now, for Fruition and Recon 5, we talked a little bit about that already, so I'm not going to get into that. And we have ourselves the pick and ban phase should begin at this very moment. I see both sides getting ready, and yes, we're actually going to put ourselves into the pick and ban phase at the very moment. Let's do this. All right, game number 1 has begun. In the pick and ban phase, Polar Ace taking away the Morgana and Zoe. Cetra Gaming taking away the Vladimir and the Irelia. 4 champions who have shown to be a very strong pick for any team at the moment, and that's me just switching up a couple of things for you. There we go. Jarvan's going to be taken away. He did get a little nerf to him, but still definitely something to keep an eye out for. And Cetra Gaming is going to take away that Nautilus. Nautilus, being a very strong champion at the moment, has been able to play in more than one role. You've seen him top, you've seen him mid, you've seen him support. Definitely something to worry about for either side. But Sean is going to pick himself the Zac. Another comfort pick for himself. Sejuani being shown. Cetra Gaming had the opportunity to pick 2 champions in a row. So there is a chance to look for the Sejuani, but it looks like they're actually just going to go back and forth. Gragas was shown. Hecarim now being spotted. And they will finalize with the Braum pick. They may want to take a little bit more time on what they want to grab. Because they grabbed the Braum first, they do have the advantage. If they grab Sejuani here, the Braum Sedge, definitely a really good combo. And I would not be surprised to see if Cetra Gaming decide to put Ashe or Indigo on Ashe this game. Alright, just fixing that at the very moment. Now it does look like Polar Ace is going to grab the Jin for themselves. Jin and Cassiopeia being grabbed for Polar Ace. We've seen Jin pop up a little bit more with the Electrocute 2 or 3 Infinity Edge build. Something that will allow Jin to get himself so strong in the mid to late game. And definitely is a game changer. Ezreal being the AD carry pick for Cetra Gaming. And the Braum Sedge Ezreal definitely a composition to fear. Galio being banned out. They want to make sure that they don't have anything to go up against this Braum, and it makes it a lot more difficult for Polar Ace to decide what AD carry they're looking for. Thrash and Urgot being the next one banned out here. Last ban here for Polar Ace. They got 20 seconds. They do have a chance to ban out the possible mid laners, and they're going to go with the Talia pick. Make sure that is taken away. Cetra Gaming still have a couple mid laners open. Orianna, Lissandra, LeBlanc. We've seen these champions over the course of the Champions League being popped up. Corki as well, definitely something that is strong overall in the Champions League. Many times before has been able to carry his team to victory. And Cetra Gaming is going to put Corki in the mid lane here. And I'm really liking the way Cetra is building their comp. They started with the support. They comboed it with the Sejuani. And then you have a really safe carries Ezreal and Corki able to disengage or re-engage with the team. Definitely something that puts a threat on the Polar Ace. A very good team comp, our team fight comp for Cetra at the very moment. Polar Ace looking more like a pick comp at the moment. Jin, Zyra in the bot lane gonna deal a lot of damage to the Braum and Ezreal down there. Now Sion is going to be the last pick for Polar Ace. Sion's going to go up in the top lane. Who is Cetra going to pick up in the top lane against the Sion? And that is going to be the Akali. And yes, if you did notice the quality is a little bit low, that is just because the way the Pro Draft works. We had to zoom it out pretty far, which then the pixels were reduced. So very sorry about that, but it is what it is, and we have to work with it. Now, with Cetra Gaming and Polar Ace's team compositions, looks like Polar Ace is really looking for getting a couple of picks for themselves, and then they start the team fights, and they play a slow team fight. They start the fight themselves, Zac jumps on in, Sion follows with the charge, and then you have Cassiopeia and Jin from afar dealing damage, and Zyra kind of being the extra pressure, pushing Cetra away whenever they try to get to the back line. Cetra Gaming don't really have too much to get to the back line without putting themselves in a lot of danger. They have Sejuani and Braum, who are very heavy frontline, and Akali, who can be a devastating force when it comes to the back line. So either side do have an advantage here, but I'm liking the way Cetra drafted in the end. A team fight composition, and Polar Ace doesn't really have anything to go against it. And it does look like both teams are still sitting in the lobby at the moment, not going to start up just yet. We may go to a small intermission here as we wait for them to go into the game. Both teams now putting themselves in the pick and ban on the client. to get started towards this game. We'll get started in a moment. It should take about 5 to 6 minutes to get into this game. But like I said, want to do a little intermission. We're going to keep it on the pick and ban phase so that you guys can see what has been grabbed and what has been banned as we wait for the game to get in. All right, there we go. Sorry for the wait. We had to get ourselves into game number 1 of this series. In just a moment, I will have Tacit and Yuki Bunny join me here to cast this series. All right, I think both of them are here. Both Tacit and Yuki Bunny are here to help me out. Boys.
Hello.
I was like, ooh, a double at the same time.
Yeah, double hello. Yeah.
Double hello. Well, these two are going to help me out today as I do have a little bit of problem at the moment, but we are getting into game number 1 of Polar Ace and Cetra Gaming. Boys, what are your thoughts? You saw the pick and ban phase. Who do you think has it, and what are your thoughts?
Okay, so looking at the Sencha lineup, I think they do have the good front-to-back team fighting, and they do have a lane bully bot lane, and they have like a really good front line in general, so I think that's really good for them. And for Cetra, they have a pretty decent like front-to-back, really strong late game scalers, good poke with Ezreal, and really good sieging, and with Akali diving the back line, so they have to play. I think Polar Aces comp is a lot easier to play, while Cetra Gaming's comp is a little harder to play. But once they're able to get 6 items, Akali can neutralize like the Jhin and the Zyra. So I think both comps have pretty much what they want here.
Yeah, and you were talking about how it's a little bit harder for Cetra Gaming to execute this team comp, but if they can, it can be a pretty devastating for Polar Ace when it comes to these later engages and towards the mid game. But for this early part of the game, looking at bot lane, you have Jhin and Zyra, and as we know, Zyra does a fair amount of damage, and Mango on the Braum can block a lot of damage. Do you think the aggression from Jack and Booper is going to hurt Indigo and Mango, or do you think Indigo and Mango will be able to hold them off and get Indigo the items that he needs to succeed?
I think the Zyra and Jhin matchup is going to be really hard for Indigo and Mango, because Braum can't really block that much damage from the Zyra other than her plant autos, and like already you're seeing how they're getting bullied. That's exactly how you want to play that lane. Just keep bullying the Ezreal and the Braum every time they walk out for a CS, because they can't really trade back. It's really hard for them to trade back as long as they're hiding behind the minions.
Yeah, now in the mid lane, Kessler's going to get low. He's going to have to flash away. But hey, their losers are going to be able to flash on forward and take first blood.
That's a really good gank going on by Bishan. Just giving him the Zac. Pretty surprising, actually. But yeah, that's a really good kill. He's going to be forced to TP back, or he's not going to even TP back. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, hey, their losers
lose a lot there.
Hey, their losers isn't actually pushing up the wave like I thought he would to force Kessler's teleport out, but just hold the wave there. And the K-Man is the beast, making his way on down to the bottom side. Bashan is there as well, probably going to reset and make his way up to the top side as all 3 camps are up for him. And I think there's a third person in here, right?
Yeah,
we got a third voice. All right.
I'm here.
Okay.
I was just listening to Yuki talk about the game. Yeah, something we didn't talk about is Polar Ace got, 2 champions that their team is known for playing, the Zac and the Jhin. So big comfort champs on that side, and it already kind of showed with Bishan's gank mid.
Yeah. Ooh, Indigo taking a fair amount of damage there. The final hit from the grenade. And Jack's looking pretty good with the Zyra on his side and keeping the pressure up. Both Indigo and Mango down to about 50% HP. And keeping that pressure up will really help Polar Ace's bot lane. And as we already saw in the mid lane, Kessler got taken down and first blood went over to Hey Their Losers. And if you can get a Cassiopeia ahead and get her started with the items that she needs into that mid game, it definitely will help out. Mango's going to flash on forward. Booper flashes very well at the same time. Heal comes out. Booper's going to get very low. He doesn't have anything left, but it's going to get turned around. Jack gets a kill for himself, and then Booper follows up with something more. And a triple kill for Polar Ace's bot lane.
Yeah, that's just the strength of their bot lane. They're just like Indigo or Jack and Blooper just able to just punish really hard like in the bot lane, and then Indigo doesn't have teleport either. He has cleanse and he doesn't have heal either. So like we're seeing the I like the play by Cayman as the beast to flash on the Zyra, but it's just like you can't be doing that if your bot lane is really weak. Like they can't really go in and like help you out at all. So it's a really good play by Jack and Blooper just to notice that they can 3v2 that, and none of them even die either. So that's really good. And Jack still has flash also, so it's really good by Sentia. Or not Sentia, Polaris.
Yeah, no summoner spell, or not all summoner spells burned. Having the flash for Jack is going to help keep up the pressure and the confidence for him. And you know, you talked about it earlier, the Jhin Zyra being a very devastating early game for Indigo and Mango to go against, and we just saw it when Cayman was there. All three members couldn't even take them down, and that's 3 kills in the early stages of the game before 5 minutes for Polaris. And having it on that Jhin, we've seen the new build with Electrocute and like the triple Infinity Edge. If he's able to get that earlier on, Jhin can just do so much damage without worrying about anything at all. He has the protection from Booper because at the moment, no one wants to step up to Booper. If he gets you locked down in a route and he's able to pop up some plants for himself, you will take way more damage than you ever wanted to.
And this is, yeah, you definitely don't want to be seeing the turn like that. Like Mango still has heal, so it's like a slight misplay, and then Jack's just sitting on way more gold than Ezreal now. It's like tier 2 BF sword boots, so Jack's just gonna be able to have his way with the lane from here on out.
Yeah, and you saw how much damage Mango took there in the Indigo after that last grenade. But one thing I will note, Infernal Dragon is up at the very moment, and now actually going to swap back up to the top side. Juju tries to get a charge up, but it does get blocked by the Cayman as a beast, so he's going to have to flash away. Both ult and flash are out from Juju, and does help them in the long run when they want to look for this dragon. They know Sejuani's up in the top lane, so now Polar Ace can start this dragon without a problem. Zach's going to jump over the wall and get things started.
Yeah, that's what I want to see Cetra Gaming doing more often, because you already have such a weak bot side, and you just pretty much at this point, like when you're picking Ezreal, you're just waiting for him to scale up and just get like his double 2-item power spike, which is the Mirror Mana and the Iceborne Gauntlet. So like I wish Cayman is a beast would just gank more for Toads, because if you can get Toads really far ahead in this matchup against this Scion, then he can actually be a threat to the Jhin and the Zyra, who are very strong right now. So if he can just get Toads ahead, maybe he can, because they have a really scaling like bot side, and they have a strong top laner with the Kali pick. So if they can just get him going, then the game can go a lot better for them in the mid game, because Polar Aces comp has a really strong mid game with their Jhin, Zyra, and Cassiopeia. So we'll just see how this goes, though.
Yeah, now Polar Ace has Bashan setting up in the bot lane bush. They want to keep the pressure up down here and keep the kills going. The Cayman Beast is on the other side of the wall as well. They have an idea of Zach where he may be. He's actually going to jump on in. Indigo tries to get himself away, but it doesn't matter. Booper's going to take down Mango, and the shots are coming in, and Jack is going to snipe him down.
A really good play by Bishan, coming down bot lane, getting him to double kill, hits the knockup, gets the Q, pulls him inside. Really gets hits from the ultimate too, from Jack. Getting really good turret plating also. This is selling their lead really hard with the Jhin. They might be able to lane swap, neutralize. If they get this tower, they can lane swap, go top lane, and just neutralize the Akali, because they're their only winning lane right now. So they can do that. They'll be really good for Polar Ace, just to keep pushing their advantages since they already got the early dragon. So that'd be really good for them. But it seems like they didn't get the tower, which is okay. They can get it maybe on the next rotation when they get back. So that'll be really good for them.
Yeah, not too much damage on the turrets from Jhin. He does do a fair amount, but they were able to get 3 plates off of that. But with the plates and how they scale with armor, Just gets a lot harder for Jin to consistently take the turret down if you start from all 5 plates. And that second plate is already almost taken down, so definitely easy for them to look for. K-Man is a beast on the opposite side of the mid lane wall, making his way to the brush. Zach is placing himself in great positions. Wherever the K-Man is, he's there to counter. And now, hey there, loser is going to walk on back. The K-Man jumps away into a better position. He's going to get away freely with no problem. Toads and Juju going back and forth, dealing some damage to each other. And Juju's actually doing a fair amount of damage now in the jungle. Bashan is going to take the fight with the K-Man. Kessler's going to have to back off here. However, doesn't have the mana to help out his teammate and decides that probably not even going to kill him anyway. Still has his passive up, so just want to take the safer route and let Bashan go without a problem.
Yeah, really good. Just knowing that Hey There Loser is playing super aggressive, so just being behind the Cassiopeia, being behind Hey There Losers, really smart play by Bishan. Just always being around the team that's like who's starting to like pressure around. Just being there to be like a safety net for them in case they do go for like an aggressive play, and keeping his team alive actually. Because if Hey There Losers dies right there, then that would have been really bad for Polar Ace, because then he just neutralized the lead that he has right now. But since he didn't die, he's really strong still.
Yeah, Kessler and Hey There Losers trading back and forth. Hey There Losers is actually doing a fair amount of damage. And it looks like Kessler's going to have to use the package to get himself away. Sejuani's doing the Herald. And Booper and Jack just keeping up the pressure. So much damage onto Mango after just 1 or 2 abilities down. And they should be able to take this turret out no problem. Indigo does clear out the wave pretty well. Mango puts himself forward to block as much as he can. But now Sejuani has been spotted out. They know that she is doing the Herald, and they can't really contest it, so they're just gonna give it up and let it go. So with the way the game is going, I want to know both of your guys' thoughts.
I think Polar Ace will probably at this point they're like in the winning side for sure, because I don't really see like Jack's opening up on the Braum. A good block from it.
Gun them down. Both summoner spells used by Mango to get himself out, but because they got that turret and push up the bot lane, it's gonna make it a lot harder. And as you were saying, sir.
Okay, so like right now, what I really like what Polar Ace is doing. They're getting this dragon, then they're gonna recall and probably go top lane and then take that tower since the plates are still up, which is really good. They can just keep pressuring and then put Bishan to trail their Polar Ace's bot lane just to keep them alive. Like if you're stronger as like a unit, right? So just keep trailing their bot lane.
Wait, now in the mid lane, they're actually going to get on to Kessler. Kessler's going to be pulled on back, and Jack, with the last shot, is able to get Kessler down, pushing up the mid lane. Bot lane is gone. They know how much stronger they are. They're going to keep the pressure up, get themselves some plates. This is before 14 minutes. If one turret is already down, and now mid lane turret's taken down 3 plates at the very moment, and with only 1 minute left for the plates to stay on. And as soon as those plates fall off, it's going to be a lot easier for Polar Ace to keep the pressure up.
Yeah, really good mid play right there. I guess they found an angle to get Kessler. Like Kessler still has flash, so I guess he just didn't flash from Bishan. That's not like really good. They're just continuing the snowball from their comp that they have right now, which is just like straight dive, and then like for the early game, like Dak is getting really good picks, but they're sitting on a lot of gold, so I hope that Polar Ace's bot lane does recall.
I think they're just trying to stay out because they knew that turret plating was falling kind of soon. Like they're backing right before the 14-minute mark, so there aren't really that many more plates that they can get right now before.
Yeah, now in the top lane, Juju's gonna get really low. Toads uses the ultimate to finally take him down, and like you guys said, Cetra's got to focus on getting Toads ahead, and now he does have a kill for himself. Herald has been popped, and as you were saying, kind sir.
And like we were saying earlier, I think the focus is going to be like Polar Ace's bot side versus Cetra Gaming's top side. Like if you're looking at the items bot lane, Jack's been sitting on IE for a while. He just backed in, finished boots, and bought another BF sword. And he's just really far ahead of the Ezreal right now, who I think might be going Trinity Force actually instead of Frozen Gauntlet, because he has the dagger. Which is kind of an interesting buy because he's not ahead or anything. He's like pretty far behind Jack. And the main thing that Cetra has going for them is that Toads has been, you know, abusing the Scion a little bit. He has a CS lead, and now he has a kill over him too.
Yeah,
so
now Indigo's going to get jumped on, uses the cleanse and flash to get himself out. Bashan and Jack from a distance doing so much damage. Ultimate is going to follow up, keeping Bashan away, but they realize they're going to get him low. Juju now is here to help out his team and be that frontline. Zax's pass is going to keep himself alive. Indigo waiting on the other side so that the fourth shot doesn't kill him, but it doesn't matter. Mango's going to be taken down from that one. The bot lane of Cetra Gaming once again dies to Polar Ace.
Yeah, that's just like exactly what I wanted to see Bishan do. Just be around this bot lane. Like they're so strong right now. Like they just wanted to get as many turrets as possible. So he was just trailing them, and then all of Cetra Gaming has to go up there too to like defend their top tower, and then he's just there. He can start off any fight.
Yeah, in the mid lane we saw a double flash from Hey There Losers to Kessler. He's able to get himself away. Hey There Losers gets onto Toads. Will it take him down? No, he actually stays alive there. Almost taken down, very close, but still Polar Ace gonna keep the pressure up. They have so much of a lead with this double Infernal and all these kills. Giant CS lead. It doesn't matter at the moment. Cetra Gaming is just getting steamrolled. And this game is going to have to go on very, very long for Cetra Gaming to get back into this one. And with the way Polar Ace is playing, they're looking to end this game out around 25 minutes.
Yeah, this is this successful snowball through the bot lane because of the triple kill that Jack and Blooper were able to get. And then every other, the Polar Ace's entire top side just didn't die at all. They all neutralized like their lanes. Kali didn't get like any huge lead, so she can't even threaten any of Polar Ace's back lane at all. And Bishan is, in my opinion, probably the MVP of this game, just neutralizing the Sejuani through everything that's been going on. Obviously, Polar Ace's bot lane has been playing super well too, but I think he's playing just as well. Just helping his entire team out, continue the snowball, getting all the Infernal Dragons for his team.
Yeah, now on the top side of the map, Hey There Losers going on to Toads. Juju trying to find out where he is. They do know, but Toads staying alive for as long as possible. The K-Man is here to help out his top laner. Toads is going to be taking Hey There Losers low, and the K-Man's actually going to be the one to take the kill. And now another fight over there from Mango and Booper to push him away, but very well done by Toads just to wait for his ally to come and help him out. And they take the fight in their favor and now get the top lane turret.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Hey There Losers went up top side, because right now, like, their bot lane is just, you should just play around your bot lane since they're like the strongest members.
Yeah, now they came in and Toads back on to Juju. Juju's gonna just flash away, forcing out that flash. And hey, you guys called it earlier in the game that the K-Man, what he's got to do is help out Toads, and right now that's what he's doing, trying to keep Toads ahead and keep the pressure up on the top side of the map, forcing Jack and Booper to actually make their way on over.
Yeah, if Cetra Gaming can just keep pulling like more members over to Toads and just like getting farm on everyone else, then they can maybe come back in this game. But there's just because they died, like just because Hey There Losers died right there, like it doesn't mean like they're like Cetra Gaming is like still ahead. They're still like really far behind, but they can keep pulling more Cetra or more Polar Ace members to Toads, and Toads can get something out of it. Then they can maybe come back in this game, but it's gonna be really hard for them to come back because they're just so, like, everyone else is just really far behind. The only person that has an advantage right now is Toads. But everyone on Polar Ace's side is just CSing very well also, so it's gonna be really hard for him to get anything. And I hope to see him just sit on the Oblivion Orb on the Kali and then just go straight Zhonya's, because he can get one-shotted really easy by Polar Ace's team because they have a lot of CC on their side of on Polar Ace.
Yeah, now down here in the bot lane, Bashan trying to wait and see if he could steal away the Gromp from the K-Man. And yeah, I have to agree, getting Toads that Zhonya's will be a factor for him because as we saw the amount of damage that Jack has and hey there losers, Toads can be taken down pretty quickly. And the pressure is being kept up on the bottom side of the map. Hey there losers may be in a really bad spot with Bashan. The K-Man's on the other side of the wall. Bashan's going to be able to jump back over and then get themselves away for free. Now 3 members of Polar Ace are going to keep the pressure on the top side of the map. They know that 4 members of Cetra Gaming are trying to hold off Hey there losers and Bashan. So they're going to get this turret for free and have no problem with keeping the pressure up on both sides of the map. Bashan setting up for the jump. He's going to go on in. Kessler's going to get stunned up. The K-Man, however, is going to be pulled in with the Corki. Hey there losers does get a kill for himself, but a lot of damage coming out from Indigo. And the K-Man picks up the final kill. Booper and Jack just doing so much damage, dominating the top side. The 4th shot is going to hit Toads. And now Polar Ace going to keep the pressure on the top side. They got 2 of the members of Cetra Gaming. And the rest of Cetra was on the bottom side trying to take down Hey there and Bashan, which they did achieve, but they lose their top lane inhibitor.
Yeah, really good just rotations and just playing the rap by Polar Ace right there, just knowing that they shouldn't TP Juju down to the bot lane fight at all. Kind of a little aggressive by Bishan and Hey there losers, but I think they just went for that play just so they couldn't draw more Cetra Gaming's players over to Polar Ace. And they get the top inhibitor, which is really good for Polar Ace, but now like they're on a ticking time bomb because now that they got the top inhibitor, they need to like be able to get something off of it, which is like Baron. So they're probably going to set up around Baron right now, and if Cetra Gaming gets this or is able to steal this Baron, then they can come back in the game really well because they have an inhibitor open, which is just funneling them farm and gold to the to Cetra Gaming, and you probably want that farm on someone like Kessler because he's just their late game carry right now. And it looks like Polar Ace is already like setting up for the Baron as predicted, and they're just gonna clear out vision, just choke out Cetra Gaming with the wards, just try to make them not gain any information, so their Baron that they do is just 100% secured instead of making the 50-50 smite. Which is what I like, and they can also get really easy picks.
Yeah, now Mango is going to get or be the target. He does get a 3-man knock up to try to turn the fight around for Cetra's favor. Bashan is going to get stunned up. Teleports are coming in. Toads is able to pick up the kill onto Booper. It's going to flash on over to try to get Bashan. Bashan's a little bit tankier than he expected. And now he's going to jump back onto Hey there losers, but gets destroyed by Hey there. Now Polar Ace turning the fight back into their favor. Shots are coming in from Jack. Can he get it onto Kessler? 4th shot's going to land. And Kessler's going to be taken down. 4 members still alive for Polar Ace. Trying to follow up. 2 members of Cetra Gaming got taken down. Very well played by Cetra to turn that around, at least in the start. But then Polar Ace, realizing that when Toads jumped in onto Hey there and got taken down, they can make that their advantage. And Polar Ace is looking for this Baron. One thing else to note, Juju still has his teleport. He did not use it. He walked up to the top lane. And so now, if they're able to get this Baron, that will help them out a lot, having this teleport in their favor. Jack's going to flash away from Indigo's damage. The K-Man going to be knocked up a little bit, but the shutdown for Indigo is going to land. So do they have the damage to take out the Baron? It's down to about 2,000 HP. Sejuani's going to jump on over. He's going to seek the smite, and it doesn't matter. Hey, their losers was going to be the one to take the Baron. Indigo trying to poke away Polar Ace to see if they can get something, but Juju and Bashan too tanky for them to get through, and that is 4 members of Polar Ace who will have this Baron.
Yeah, really good Baron secure, just making sure that like Sejuani's like felt really pressured to like really steal that, so she came in really early on the Baron, tried to steal it, wasn't able to secure it. Hey the loser somehow gets it. I would have liked to see that Polar Ace just burst the Baron right there with the smite, just to get it, because Jin has double Infinity Edge. She's really strong with the 4-shot already primed. if he probably does like 1,000 damage to the Baron right there at that low of HP. So I would have liked to see him just burst it, and then Jack probably wouldn't have lived. Him dying right there gave Indigo a lot of gold, and he's going for the blade. It's kind of weird his build that he's going. He's going for Sark Shoes, but isn't going Gunblade, but and going Blade the Ring King. I don't really like the fact that he already went Sark Shoes. I think he shouldn't have went just Merc Treads or Ninja Tabai. Just I like the Blade the Ring King that he's building because they do have Zac and Sion, so he needs to be able to kill them really quickly.
Yeah, and then Bishan is going to jump on in. Mango's going to be pulled back and taken down with ease. Jack with a nice shot there. Setting up for the fourth shot, going to use it on the turret. Polar Ace is now going to push on forward. They don't have one of their front line. Jin is going to open up wide. One misses, second one hits. Third one hits, fourth is going to hit, but not much damage is going to be put out. The K-Man too tanky for him. Now Polar Ace is going to try to run away here. Bot turret was taken down. Polar Ace want this inhibitor turret before they walk away. They are going to be able to get it. And now they have two lanes pressuring up. Mid lane is the last one left. All 5 members still alive. And Mango did just respawn, so Cetra Gaming do have an extra man for defense. The pressure is going to be kept up. Juju clearing out the wave with no problem at all. Polar Ace now may look for something. Bashan is ready to go. He's fully back to the health that he needs to be. The K-Man's going to jump in onto Jack. Jack's actually going to be hit by that stun. Indigo's going to pick up the first kill. Toads is going to pick up the second. And now Cetra Gaming with a beautiful engage are going to be able to clean up house. That is 3 kills for Cetra Gaming, turning this game around.
Yeah, really good snipe with the Sejuani ult from K-Man as a beast. Able to get Jack. Remember, he had no flash from the Baron because he flashed away. So he had no flash. Really good Sejuani ult. Able to pick off Jack straight away and just clean up everybody else. Hey There Losers is still alive. Really clean fight. They didn't really greed for more kills, which is what I really didn't like to see. Right now, Mango really needs to be careful.
Ooh, Bashan actually going to jump on in, and yet, like you said, Mango's got to be careful. He is able to get himself out. But Bashan trying to follow up onto Toads. Toads is going to get knocked up here. Hey There Losers is going to be the one to take him down. Hey There Losers has so much damage. Bashan still trying to look for something more. Bashan is actually going to be taken fairly low, but he's going to be healed up with that Warmog's armor. It does not matter. And that's the whole point of getting that early on for the Zac, so that he can just get back into the fight without a problem. Mango's pushing on forward. Hey There Losers hits a nice ultimate onto one. Bashan is going to jump on in and try to follow up with more. Mango's going to be pulled on back and taken down. Indigo on the other side trying to get some damage off, but Juju and Bashan way too tanky. Bashan's jumping on forward. Not going to be able to lock him down, but they will get themselves the third inhibitor turret. Cetra Gaming trying to clear out the waves at the very moment to hold off this game. Game number 1 is looking really good for Polar Ace at the moment. Cetra Gaming trying to hold on a little bit longer. The K-Man now jumps on in. Jack is going to get locked up, but there is not much follow-up. Toads now jumping on the back line. Bashan keeping his 80 or his carries alive. Kessler into the back line. Jack now has the target. Juju's going to follow up with the charge, get himself closer to Kessler, but it's not going to matter. Indigo now in a really bad position, has to flash and cleanse. Ultimate is coming out from Jack. He's trying to target him down. Kessler is being followed. Hey There Losers will pick up the kill. And now Bashan flashes away. Realizes he doesn't have his passive up. And keep himself alive. Polar Ace pushing to end this game.
Yeah, it just looks like Cetra Gaming just felt like really pressured to make a play, so they kept trying to team fight, and they kept overexerting, just kept forcing plays, and kept overreaching for more stuff when they just needed to like reset.
They would want to fight, and then they felt like they were stronger than they actually were. I think when they were really only winning because Polar Ace was, staying out on the field too long without backing, buying items and refreshing is what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Overall, though, I think Polar Ace played that game really clean, really well.
Yeah, I think they did they did a really good job of pushing their lead that they got from that that early triple. They just rotated their 80 carry around, and they got 5 towers down really early on, and then forced the Baron. So
Yeah, very well done in the end by Polar Ace picking up game number 1, and now we're going to move ourselves on over to the intermission, give the teams a break to reset and get it themselves into game number 2. Stay tuned.
Oof. That game was wild.
All right, there we go. Now we are into game number 2. Pick and ban phase is going to start in just a moment. But Polar Ace was able to take home game number 1 with a very dominating lead early on and then just end out the game fairly early, which is something that you don't see very often. Polar Ace definitely want the 5th place spot, so they do not have to go against Fruition. What are you guys' thoughts on game number 2?
So Yuki, Bunny, and I were talking a little bit during the intermission about some things that we would like to see a little bit different. The Zach was definitely a big player in getting Polar Ace ahead, and so that's probably something that Cetra will want to look to ban this time around. The lead that Polar Ace got bot lane could have definitely, like, it could have been any AD carry that, maybe not any AD carry, but, you know, like Caitlyn or Jinx, if they also got a triple kill that early, like, they could have done the same thing with snowballing the lead. So, you know, it is Jack's gen, but I don't think that was as big of a problem to Cetra. But it is looking like they're going to ban both.
Yeah. Jin being more of the comfortable pick for Jack, and definitely something that they have to worry about just a little bit, but I don't think it's something to ban. I have to agree with you. It's something that they don't fully have to ban. They can definitely prioritize their bot lane in such a way so that they can play around it. And, you know, take it away if it makes them feel better, then go right ahead. But Zach definitely needs to be banned out here. Now, Rakan, Caitlyn, and Morgana have been grabbed. And we all know how strong the Caitlyn Morgana bot lane is. And I'm curious right now, is Cetra Gaming going to go with the Lovers bot lane together, Rakan and Xayah? Because they're going to need something strong to go up against Caitlyn and Morgana. And, you know, if you've already picked up the Rakan, Xayah's your best bet.
Yeah, already. Polar Ace already has like a really strong bot lane duo, which is Caitlyn Morgana. Like, pretty much if you get binded once, you're pretty much dead from Caitlyn traps. And Cetra first picking Rakan, kind of weird to me, but they do pick up the Lovers duo, which is really nice for them. It's kind of weird that they picked that first, but
they're
fine.
Yeah, I think they're probably just
engaged with the Rakan already, with the Jarvan. So that's something that's already really good. Their drop's looking a lot better. Taliyah picked up from Polar Ace. Looks like that might go for Ishan, because I know that he does play Taliyah jungle quite a bit. So,
yeah, Taliyah being shown up a little bit more often when you watch Polar Ace, and has been picked up by Heather Loses and Bashan. And Bashan many times before has done very well on it, so we'll see how that's going to work out for him when he goes up against a Jarvan. Polar Ace now going to ban out the Orianna, while Cetra Game is going to focus up on the Aurelia here. Two bans that I think are definitely something that need to be banned out and really focused. Polar Ace is going to ban out the Kennen. Not much of a priority, but when Cetra Gaming is really looking for that team fight composition, definitely a key factor to look at in this pick and ban phase. Because if you give that Kennen top lane and then you follow it up with like a Sejuani, excuse me, I don't know why I just said Sedge, with a Lissandra in the mid lane or something on those lines, it can make it very difficult for Polar Ace to have much opportunity to go up against it. Sion's going to be the last one banned out for Cetra Gaming. And Malphite's being shown? Interesting.
Yeah, blind pick Malphite would be pretty interesting here. Tanks in general have been buffed recently, but not him directly, mainly just like the runes. Okay, we're gonna see the Urgot.
looks like Cetra Gaming's just going for a really team fighting comp, and I like the Gnar pickup here. Gonna try to neutralize the Urgot just a tiny bit, most likely. From Cetra. I think the Gnar versus Urgot matchup is kind of like a coin flip in my opinion, but I think it's more favored to Gnar if he's able to dodge the Urgot Qs. And the Syndra getting picked up from Cetra Gaming also. A really strong blind pick mid laner because, you know, and Polar Ace pulls out the Nautilus, which is a really good counter to the Syndra. Just able to point SR on her and just has a lot of CC, so a lot of like, this Polar Ace's mid lane duo is really strong. Like, if he's ever able to get on Syndra, like Talia can just one-shot Syndra. So we're gonna have to see how this Nautilus really pulls out. It might even be an AP Nautilus just to try blowing someone up, but we're gonna have to see. It could be tank also, and if it's tank, then you're just Polar Ace already has a lot of damage on their team, so the Nautilus is tank. That's not a big deal either. Both teams going for really strong team fighting, team comps. So I like that a lot. Just
yeah, I like that too. I like the Urgot pick a lot and the Nautilus pick. Two pretty beefy laners to kind of complement how squishy Talia jungle is, and then really strong bot lane. And then Cetra is, this is going to be like our first time seeing, Rakan and Jarvan just got changed last patch a little bit. Rakan more of a buff, Jarvan a definite nerf, so we'll see how those changes kind of affect how well they do.
Yeah, and definitely something to keep an eye out for. With the way Cetra Gaming placed their team comp, I really like the way it's going. Even though you do have the nerf to Jarvan and the Rakan and Xayah pick in the bot lane, the Lover's bot lane, and then you have Syndra and Gnar as well. Syndra can definitely be a team fight interference with the way she has her stun, and if she's able to hit one or two members of Polar Ace in the fight, it can definitely disrupt everything going on. And as we've seen many times before, professional level, Nightfall, Champions League, ABL series, when you have a Gnar, if they know how to play it and pull it off, there's a really high chance that it can initiate a fight and it can be devastating for the opposing side. And I'm personally going to have to go with Cetra Gaming's team composition. I do like Polar Ace, but with the way Cetra really focused on how their composition is going to work, I think they're going to be able to pull this one off a little bit better than the one they had last game. It was a little bit harder for them to pull that one off. And so, do you think Cetra has the edge, or do you think Polar Ace has the edge going into game number 2?
I think whichever team can get an early lead, I think that team's most likely gonna get ahead, because both teams have really good snowballing. But I think in a straight 5v5, I do like Cetra's just a little bit more because of the Syndra will have more damage, and I think Cetra Gaming has just more damage. But if the Urgot's able to get his ultimate off, then he really then I think Polar Ace just hard wins the team fight, because it's gonna be really hard for I think Cetra's Gaming's team fighting is a lot harder to pull off in my opinion, just because the Rakan has to get a good engage with the Jarvan, and it's gonna be really hard to engage against a Morgana. And the Talia can just stop the Jarvan with her E, so he has to be careful not to just kill himself if he's engaging onto the Talia. So it's gonna be really hard to see. I think Polar Ace's team fighting is a lot easier to pull off, so but in terms of damage, I think Cetra has more. So, but we're just gonna have to see how that goes with the early game, because right now I think this game just is based off of whoever can get early game or early lead in the early game, then will most likely be able just to transition to the mid game very well, obviously. So we're just gonna have to see, and I think the point of contention will have to be the bot lane. If Polar Ace's bot lane just is able to crush the Xayah Rakan, then it's going to be really hard for Xayah to even team fight Polar Ace's comp at all. So we're just going to have to see how that goes.
Yeah, and it did seem like Polar Ace went with the Caitlyn Morgana pick, definitely something that has been very strong and very popular pick down in the bot lane. But you know, with Rakan being the support that was picked first, I thought there'd be more of a chance for them to maybe look at the Braum pick. And you know, it didn't go so well for Cetra last game, but if they're going to try to go for the Lovers bot lane, the Braum is definitely something that can really hurt Azaya. So I was interested in seeing if Polar Ace was going to grab that, but you know, the bot lane could go either way because the Caitlyn Morg strong together, Rakan Zaya definitely strong together, so that's going to be an interesting fight down there between Jack, Booper, and Indigo and Mango.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard for Rakan to make any early game plays against the Morgana also. So it's kind of weird. I actually really like the Morgana pick from Polar Ace just because like you see the Rakan early, like first pick, so you can just I know they're already Cetra's looking for the Lovers duo since they already first pick Rakan. Polar Ace had an option of taking away Desire and picking Morgana also, but instead decided to go for the Caitlyn and just pair it up with something that's really strong with Morgana. So I think that's just as strong as the Braum pick. Like you could pick Braum, but just pick something that can neutralize the Cetra Gaming bot lane also is just as good. So it's just going to be all about execution now because we don't know how these games are going to go. So hopefully get a good one.
Yeah, and you know, there's been a couple of times where we've seen Jack on these other AD carries than Jhin. He's very comfortable on that champion, but when it comes to Caitlyn, Tristana, Jinx, and all these other carries that you can play, he puts up consistent numbers, but at the same time, he doesn't have the same type of carry potential as he does when he plays the Jhin. So I'm really wanting to see more out of Jack in this game when it comes to him playing Caitlyn, and with the Morgana definitely will help out, but enough talk about the bottom side of the map. Right now, what I'm interested in taking a look at is that jungle matchup. Talia versus Jarvan. A very confident Bashan on Talia, and the K-Man is a beast. Very consistent and very consistent jungler.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at Bishan's Talia, you know, that's one of his, I would say, like top 3 champions. He's always, you know, going for early plays on it. And then K-Man, you know, a more recent player to the Cetra lineup, but he's just been a pretty impressive jungler so far, and Jarvan's one of his more played champions too. So, and he has the potential for early ganks also. So we'll have to watch and see like what they're capable of doing to help their laners out. I think the what Yuki was saying earlier with the Morgana is going to be a big part of this game, because you know she has the potential to nullify the engage from Rakan, and then Rakan did just get that nerf where he can't initiate as quickly right after he presses R, so we'll have to see, you know, like how well she times her spell shield, and that's going to be like something that we'll be able to look at too. I think that's going to be a part of deciding the early game.
Yeah, now we have 1 minute and 35 seconds left until this game is going to get started. At the moment, we will have a little conversation back and forth every once in a while if we do think of something until the game gets started. But for now, we're just going to wait until the spectators' delay pushes on through.
Is this the first Nautilus mid we've seen in Nightfall? I think it might be.
Played
or
it
no.
yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
Played yesterday.
You're right.
Yeah, Princess brother.
Yeah,
But,
sorry. Myself.
what I like to see this game is K-Man the Beast just helping Toads out. Both bot lanes are already strong together, so you don't really need to focus bot lane at all. I think you should be focusing on this top side, which is helping out Kessler, helping out Toads, if he really wants to make an impact. And I think Ishan, he's been playing the game really well so far, but I think he'd want to be helping out Hey There Losers, and he can make really good roams down the bot lane too. Like he can help out with his bot lane. Like it's a lot easier for Bishan to help out his bot lane than it is for Cayman as a beast. And I think giving Toads an early advantage will really help out Cetra. Let's close out this game. So I'd like to see the jungle pressure just be more for Cetra, be around the top side. Just let Indigo, Mingo just do their thing in the bot lane. Try to survive against this really strong Caitlyn Morgana duo. And if there are any potential ganks for him to like ward for them also. And I think I'd like to see some early jungle wards coming out for Cetra around the bot side, so it keeps his bot lane safe, because Nautilus is being played because he's a really good early game pusher, and he can shove in mages really well. So we're gonna have to see how Hey There Losers plays this Nautilus, and hopefully he can help out Bishan just make roams down the bot lane. So that'd be good.
Yeah, now we are into game number 2 of this series between Cetra Gaming and Polar Ace. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, one thing to note is that the team that wins this series will be put into 5th place. If you are in 5th place, you will be facing Impulse Ghosting, and if you are in 6th place, you will be facing Fruition Premier. That is the key here for either side. They want to make sure that they have the opportunity to choose who they face. So Polar Ace trying to finish it up right now, get themselves the 2-0 victory, so they get the opportunity to face Impulse Ghosting rather than having to face the very dangerous Fruition Premier.
Yeah, this one means a lot for both teams, so we'll see. Let's see if Cetra can make it go to game 3, or will Polar Ace whip out the 2-0 today. Let's see if their early game is 5-point. I'd like to see a 5-point. Maybe from Polar Ace, they might look for invade. They do have a lot of CC from the Nautilus and the Morgana, so they might be looking to make a bot lane invade. So it's just something. If it were me, I'd probably call my team to look for any invades, because it's really strong against Cetra. Just get early wards down to see where the Jarvan is going to start also. So yeah.
The CC they have level 1 is pretty big with the Nautilus and the Morgana.
Yeah, we are waiting to see when the game is going to start. It seems like there's a couple of problems with Polar Ace at the moment, trying to reset their routers and make sure that their signal is good, because you don't want to go into a game with 120 ping. Done it before and done it in a tournament play, and we still won, but it was definitely quite difficult. I gotta tell you. So Jack wants to make sure he doesn't have that problem, and we're just gonna wait and see what these players have to say and when we can get started here. All right, in the chat, I want to see who do you think is going to win it all. So not only who's going to win this series, but I also want to know who you think is going to make it to the finals and who is going to take home the #1 spot in the Nightfall Champions League. There's a lot of teams still in it. 6 different teams to choose from right now. This series is just placing these teams in a specific order on who they will face. But right now, give in the chat what you think, and Cerulean's going to be the first one to hand it on over. Recon #1 will take home the finals. Oh, well, actually, sorry, that Cerulean's not answering me. He's answering the guy above him. My bad.
He's putting the rankings.
That's the ranking so far. I thought Cerulean was putting in what he thought was going to win for the finals. Who do you think is going to take it home? Tacit, Yuki?
Oh, yeah, I think that game one was pretty one-sided for Polar Ace, and I don't think that they definitely have the tools that they need to win this game too with the champions that they picked. So my guess would be Polar Ace taking the series.
Yeah, I think Polaris will probably take the series just because they have more comfort champs also with Talia. And Hey There Losers has been playing a lot of Nautilus with the guy named Now. So heard his Nautilus is quite nutty. And I
I've
think
not seen it
Juju's-
personally, but I have also heard that.
Like,
Yeah.
The question is though, have they been winning, or has Now been trolling?
I heard that the Qs aren't safe when Now is alone, but when Hey There is playing with him, they are safe.
The Qs are okay.
Oh,
Got
really
it.
good spot from Rakan right there. To spot out the invade coming out from Polar Ace. Looks like they're going to 5-stack this bush.
Yeah, like Yuki was saying, looks like they are going for the invade, but Rakan just knew where to be, so we'll see if they try anything or...
Ooh. Okay. Nicely done by Bashan to push him away, and Booper almost lands a bind on the Mango. And, with the Nautilus hook right behind, that could have been a scary start for Cetra Gaming, but waited to see. The ward is going to go over to the red buff, so they will know where they're going to start and possibly which direction that the K-Man is a beast is going to go, which is going to help Polar Ace out a lot and give Bashan the pathing that he wants to go based on where the K-Man is. And with the scuttle being pushed back to 3 minutes and 15 seconds from 2 minutes and 15, it allows for different jungle routes to open up, and also it allows for mid laners or elite laners in general to be able to just hold the wave and not have to pressure it every single time. Kind of gives more of an opportunity for many different champions actually now, even with just that small change.
Oh, looks like K-Man's the Beast looking for that level 2 gank. Already flash burnt from Jack, really respecting that. Looked like he was trying to get a cheeky flash from Blooper also, just throwing the flag in, seeing if Blooper will react to the flag and drag, but it seems like he does not. Really well played from Jack, just making sure that he has his health bar, bring that early flash so he doesn't, have to waste a health potion or anything like that. So he has no flash, but still not
He gets
bad.
to stay in lane, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that,
sure he has to be in lane longer.
that was just really good for K-Man to head down because Booper landed the bind, so Polar Ace was a little bit forward in lane, being aggressive, and they just kind of traded back off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Bashan is setting himself up on the bottom side. He took the red, the Krugs, and now is actually set up in a great position to get this scuttle. It seems like both junglers will get it without a problem. But now in the top lane, the disdain has been used. Juju gets a little bit of damage on the Toads, gets him down to about half HP, and is just going to jump away without a problem. Now in the mid lane, Bashan looking for something on the Kessler. And the hook is actually going to make Bashan's knockup miss. That could have been an easy kill for them. A little miscommunication there, and it's just going to burn the flash instead.
Yeah, a little misplay right there from Hey There Losers, pulling in when the Talia used her W there. Not what you want to see, but it forces the Syndra to recall, which is not bad at all. And you get her flash also, so that gank now, Kessler has to be really afraid of the Nautilus Talia coming again just to try killing him. So he has to play super safe. And it looks like Bishan's going to go around bot side since the wave is resetting, and it looks like he's going to look for a bot lane play with the Talia.
Yeah, and Bashan can make his way over there pretty fast with his passive, just riding along the walls. Bind does miss. Knockup's going to miss as well, so now doesn't look like they are going to be able to follow up with too much. Oh, Jack almost gets the damage on the Mango. Nice trap by him, but now over in the mid lane, Hey There Losers gets knocked up. Electrocute comes on down, but the shield is going to keep him alive, and now they may try to turn this fight around in the mid lane, and Bashan walking on over, knowing where the K-Man is going to go. They're going to meet up in the jungle now. The K-Man getting pretty low here. Bashan waiting to see what's going to happen. Stun is going to land. Kessler's going to push away Bashan, keeping his jungler alive. But now the K-Man is down to 20% HP. He should be able to clear without a problem still, but does open up for a mid lane gank here. Bashan with the knock-up onto Kessler, pushes him back towards Hey There Losers. Not able to follow up with much more, but Kessler already put back down to 25% HP. Disdain was used up in the top lane. Juju trying to get the damage onto Toads, but Toads wisely just keeping the poke and pressure up on Juju, forcing him to back away early. And now Infernal Dragon is up, and we saw how devastating that can be in game number 1. Ooh. Okay. I can respect that. Hey There Losers.
Hey There's doing a really good job landing hooks in lane also. You can tell that he's put in some practice on it. He's have a pretty nice CS lead also. Both solo lanes kind of got counter pick, so that's kind of showing in how well they're farming. They got to play the matchups that they want.
Yeah, now in the mid lane, Hey There Losers once again lands a hook and gets Kessler super low. Not forcing out the heal though. Still has his summon spell up, but forcing Kessler to back off in the mid lane. He has 10 CS ahead, and he's going to force Kessler to lose a minion wave to the turret, and that's pretty big for Polar Ace's mid lane. And now they should be able to clear out the vision and take control of this Infernal.
It does look like he's going to be going at least Proto Belt, so he has the Revolver.
Yeah, it looks like he's going the AP Nautilus build, so Kessler having no flash right now, it's gonna have a really hard time.
Ooh, now in the bot lane, Jack is gonna be the one that they want to look for. Cayman's gonna have to flash away. Bashan almost gets the knock-up, but that is gonna be first blood over to the Cayman. Now in the top lane, Juju is gonna flash on in with the Disdain, and now Toad's flashing to the side to get away from the fear beyond death. And that's going to give a little bit of lead for Cetra here in the early stages of this game. They realized that Jack didn't have his flash up, take advantage of it, and move on down. Bashan was there, but Jack got taken down so fast, there's nothing that they could do. And so definitely gives more pressure for this Infernal, as the K-Man will back and get himself, should be a finished jungle item.
Yeah, really smart gank coming up there from K-Man as a beast. Seemed like they knew, or they burnt the Morgana spell shield really early, so then K-Man just came down and just went straight on to Jack because they know they have no spell shield. Mango hit a really good did he hit the W? I can't remember. I don't recall, but they were able to CC Caitlyn, kill Jack, get him out of this pressure lane just for a little bit longer, give a lead to Indigo, which is exactly what you want to see coming out from Cetra Gaming. You just want to get as many small leads, not overexerting, not going for more kills, which is what I like to see. Just flashing away from the Talia right away because she is quite strong. And I'm really worried for this mid lane matchup now that Halo Losers is level 6, now level 7. Makes it really easy for Bishan to really gank this Syndra. Like, she's going to get her flash up right now, but they can burn her flash any moment at any time by just pressing R most likely, and Bishan is showing. So Kessler is going to have to be really, really safe in this game. And it looks like they're trying to like clear out vision for the bot side, trying to make sure that Bishan just doesn't solo this dragon. And it looks like K-Man's actually soloing the dragon right now, or maybe clearing vision, not sure yet. Oh, Mango getting caught out.
Takes a decent chunk. Hook almost lands there from Hey There Losers. And now it looks like they're going to fight over the Infernal Dragon. Bashan onto the K-Man. Ultimate has come in. Cataclysm gives just enough damage. Indigo follows up with a little bit more. That Infernal should go over to Cetra Gaming. Booper has to flash away. Mango's going to get the charm, and that's going to be a double kill for Indigo. The K-Man still wants to look for a little bit more. Nice job by Mango to force out the flash from Jack there. And you know, Cetra Gaming looking pretty good in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, really good rotations coming out from Mango and Indigo. They had the pushing bot lane, so they could get there first. On that, it looks like they're trying to tower dive Jack here.
Ooh,
They did just burn his flash, so
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be the hardest?
Yeah, they can't really do it without a wave though. That's what I was kind of curious about. But anyways, I guess they just cleared the vision, which is just as good. But really good. They had lane priority in the bot lane, so that's why came in went for the dragon plate, and then Talia just uses her W and E onto Rakan before going to the before checking the dragon. So like she didn't have any burst coming out to burst anybody in that dragon pit. So Cayman just jumped on her, knowing that she had probably none of those abilities up, and was just able to burst Bishan, and then Blooper just overextended trying to save your teammate. Sometimes you just gotta leave them, you know.
Yeah,
But he didn't. So they're just able to give away 2 more kills and an Infernal Dragon, which is really good for Cetra Gaming, since the Infernals will help them out a lot on all their champions since they're all damage dealers. Not what you really want to see there. So.
Yeah, and one thing that I've noticed in these past couple of series is that a lot of teams have more of an advantage when they play on the blue side. It's a little odd, but in the early stages of the game, it seems like most of the time the blue side's able to pick up a couple of kills for themselves, get the objectives that they need, and get themselves a little further ahead. And you know, it's shown for Cetra as well. Juju's going to use the disdain on forward to try to fight Toads, and Toads just going to keep the pressure on back to get a nice trade, heals himself up with the Mega Gnar, and now there is a chance for Bishan to look for something here on the bottom side of the map. He can make his way on over. Mango and Indigo are pressured up pretty hard here, and you know, with Stopwatch being up and Booper having his ultimate to follow, it could be devastating for Indigo. He does have they do have escapes for themselves. Indigo can use his ult to get away, while Mango, very hard to lock down unless you hit the bind, so definitely something. Hey there, losers in the mid lane is going to focus on in. Juju's going to use the ultimate. They're trying to get the damage down to get Kessler taken down. Both summoner spells used in that heal is going to come in handy, so the Fear Beyond Death is not going to be able to take him down.
Yeah, really good by
Oh! Nice dark bind there by Booper. Bishan making his way on over. Ultimate has come out, but it's not going to follow up with anything else. Indigo's going to use his to follow up and get himself away. Wall's going to be used to try to block him on down. Bishan has been taken down. Booper in a really bad spot. Stopwatch is going to put him in a dangerous position, and that's going to be a double kill for the K-Man. Jack now trying to see if he can get something more for his team. Ace in the hole is going to come on through, and it's going to be a shutdown.
Yeah, right there. Indigo overreaching or trying to kill Jack when he's full HP. They should just get the 2 kills, reset. Really good from Cayman to clean up that fight. Exactly what you want to see. Ooh,
Nice
big chunk
damage.
coming out from either losers. Just
Asserting his dominance, yeah.
yeah,
That was twice in a row that we've seen K-Man just be in the right place. He was there to back up Kessler mid when he was getting ganked by Juju, and then he just heads straight bot to counter the Bishan roam or gank.
yeah.
And we saw
But
how much damage there that the K-Man can do now, and it's pretty devastating. Another dragon's coming up pretty soon. Bishan and Juju pinging out that they may want to look for Toads, but now he's gonna have to make his way back on down to the bot lane as the dragon's coming up, and they need to gain vision control of that. So with that fight breaking out in the way it did, Jack picking up a kill, the shutdown onto Indigo will help him get back into the game to go up against Indigo. And you know, I think with Hey There Losers, Bishan, and Booper, the amount of crowd control and lockdown that you have, it can make it difficult for Cetra Gaming to look for specific picks. But at the same time, what are your guys' thoughts? Because the Jarvan is so strong right now, and you just saw in the last fight how much damage he can do. When it comes to these fights, the mid game, do you think he's going to be a game changer on the Polar Ace backline?
Oh yeah, for sure. If Cayman is a beast, ever finds Bishan or Jack or Blooper just by themselves, he can just almost one-shot them pretty much. And right here, Kessler needs to be really afraid because he does. Talia is around. But yeah, like in these mid-game fights, like Cayman's a beast. Is just in a perfect moment.
Yeah, now they're actually going to go and engage
Yeah,
and
we
came in
should-
just
yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, we see it there. Exactly
Yeah,
like
right there. If they're ever by themselves, K-Man's a Beast can just kill anybody he wants right
Oh,
now.
the
and
teleport from
TP'd down.
Toads.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
nice
flash
flash.
from Jack.
Yeah, damage back and forth. Oh, ace in the hole used. Just going to try to put her down a little bit more. The next dragon will go over to Cetra Gaming, and Juju will be able to push out the top lane without a problem. Not able to follow up with this teleport. No reason at all for him to follow up if he can just get a couple of waves for himself and be able to push out the top lane without a problem. Mango now pushing on forward. Does take a fair amount of damage from Jack, and not too much of a worry, but just like you guys were saying, we saw the amount of damage out from the K-Man onto Bishan. It was just so much, and it pretty devastating, to be honest, for them.
Yeah, it looks like Jack's just able to bully out this bot lane, just telling them to get off my farm. Alright, no more farm for you, pretty much. But yeah, exactly like that. Like, if Bishan or Jack or Blooper just by themselves came in, can just one-shot any of them with his ultimate if they don't have any flashes. And I'm pretty sure they've been timing flashes, so they know that once Bishan is right there, Jarvan can just press R and just kill them by themselves. Like, he doesn't need any help at all. And looks like Polaris is able to get their first tower. Really good by them to just get that money, get them out of that laning phase, because it's so it's really scary to be in bot lane like that far up and not being able to ward Tribush if you know the Jarvan can just be there and just kill you guys at any time because of the Rakan combo. And it looks like they're rotating mid lane too. It's like almost like game one where they just run straight mid. Like, it's I kind of think that's kind of weird to me. I think I would like to see them just reset immediately after getting that bot lane tower and just going straight top lane, since they have a lot of gold after killing that first tower, and then they can just get rift trailed by themselves.
Yeah, now in the mid lane, Kess is going to get knocked up. Bound has landed, and Bashan will pick up a kill for himself. And one thing I wanted to note and agree with you on is the fact that Cetra Gaming has been able to keep up the pressure, get themselves some picks. But one thing to really note is that if you look at the turrets from Polar Ace versus Cetra, Cetra's turrets are almost down. Bot lane has been taken down. Mid and top lane are super low, probably about 1,000 to 2,000 HP left. While Polar Ace, most of their turrets are almost full health or maybe even just down to 75%, which is going to be a key factor when it comes to this mid game. And like you said, opening up the bot lane for Polar Ace will allow for a lot more opportunity for Jack and Booper to scale and also help out the team. We saw that fight in the mid lane. Kill Kessler, ace in the hole. Used a little bit of damage onto Toads, but not too much. Now Mango has been spotted, wanting to look for something there. And Juju should be able to push out the bot lane without a problem. Toads does not have his teleport, and it does look like Cetra's just going to push out the top wave. And I believe let the bot lane push it out, and Toads needs to make his way on down because Juju's going to keep on going.
Yeah. Right now, Juju's just getting a lot of free farm right now. Game's kind of an island for these top laners. A lot of action going around the bot side, so Bishan just trailing his bot lane, making sure they can play as aggressive as they want. Looks like he just recalled though. He's running straight back top lane most likely. Or he's gonna go for his blue buff, and then that's like the opening window for Cetra Gaming to look on to them. But
yeah, it did look like he was going bot, but then they saw Jarvan clearing the word top, so
yeah.
Yeah, now the
looks
favor. Oh, go right ahead.
I think he's starting the Rift Herald up right now, which is really good by K-Man's a Beast, just to drop the Rift Herald. If they're able to get this Rift Herald, hopefully they can get some towers of their own. Because all their towers, like you said, are very low for Cetra Gaming, and you really don't want them to get that.
Oh, Mango puts himself in a really bad spot, gets taken down by Jack, and now Polar Ace feel really confident they're going forward, and Bashan's actually going to smite that away. Herald is going to go over to Polar Ace. The K-Man's in a really bad spot. He's going to be taken down, and Bashan and the rest of Polar Ace will be able to push on forward. Turret's already low. They should be able to, without a problem, pop this Herald and push on the mid lane. And because Mango is down, it's a 2v1 in the top side of the map. Jack and Boop are able to push this out for themselves due to keeping up the pressure, and this is what Polar Ace needed.
And that's exactly the way you don't want it to go if you're Cetra, but then it shows kind of the potential of Polar Ace's comp. They just have, a lot of pick potential with Morgana. Bishan has shown that he can land the W's on Talia. Either Losers has been landing hooks on Nautilus all game long, and yeah, that's a two tower swing, and they pick up some kills.
Yeah, not only that, but Nautilus just has really good wave clear too. So Kessler doesn't have any mid prio at all when they're doing that Herald play. So it's really hard for him to just come over to help out K-Man's a beast, and you saw the result of that. K-Man did lose the Herald also. Really good smite steal away from Bishan, taking away that Herald, and because they get the Herald, they get the mid tower, and they get the chunk on the second mid tower also, the tier 2. So here looks like Polar Ace is just gonna look for the Water Dragon most likely. I like that Jack stopped walking towards his straight to Water Dragon, is going to clear out this mid, because mid priority is very important in League of Legends. If you get mid prio, you can just place wards anywhere you want, pretty much. But here, they need to be careful going through this wall, clearing this ward, because they might be able to engage onto him. Oof. Jack's putting out so much damage.
Oh my goodness, now he is going to jump in onto Jack and take him down without a problem. Walls in. K-Man has to flash on over. 2 members really low for Cetra. Is going to pop the ult onto Indigo. Just going to try to use it blindly. Hey, their loser's going to hook Kessler down, but he is going to be able to use both sums and get himself out and alive. Jack was taken down, but Polar Ace still do have more HP, and Booper in a very questionable spot there. Now, there is only 3 members left for Polar Ace. Nicely done by Bishan, taking down Mango there. Root is going to land. Toad's now taking a lot of damage. He does have his rage to get himself out. The K-Man follows up with something more. Toad picks up the kill. Juju trying to flash it over, see if he can get something for his team, but he will not be able to. Bishan now knows how low the rest of Cetra is, and is just going to wait and see if he can get this dragon by himself. The K-Man walking on over, has the flag and drag. Ace in the hole has been used, and Toads is not going to be taken down, but very low. And Bishan takes the kill for himself, while Indigo follows up with a charged auto.
Yeah, I think Booper just wanted to clear the blast cone there, and then he ran into some Cetra members on his way, and then he was just stuck inside the team. And then Cetra pushes with their number advantage, and then both teams just wanted to find out who was stronger, it looked like. One team had a numbers advantage, the other team had more health on their members, and a lot of lives exchanged on both sides.
Yeah, and one thing to note is Indigo is pretty strong here. He's 4-1-4, has a decent amount of CS right now, and with a Zaya getting ahead with a Rakan, it can be pretty hard for any team fight that is going to be breaking out for Polar Ace to try to get in onto that back line. But I will give it to Polar Ace through the early part of this game. They did have a little bit of problems, but they made their way back in. They got the picks that they needed, and with the way they have this comp and the way that they've been using it and executing has been really, really good. And now Mango almost gets taken out there, but he didn't actually step back. He uses the ultimate to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Booper on the opposite side. Bind is going to miss, but now they know that Mango is low. They can push on forward to see if they can get more. K-Man gets himself out with the flag and drag. Hey, the losers looking pretty scary. The rest of Polar Ace walking into the mid lane, and hey, they're losers using the proto belt to get himself in a better position, but doesn't land the hook that he wanted to. And one thing to note is Toads is here on the bottom side of the map, and he keeps on pushing. He has the teleport for his team, so he's just going to keep the pressure up, take down the bot lane turret without a problem. And now Polar Ace, they have to do something. They got to answer something, because Cetra's taking advantage of this.
Yeah, Cetra playing this really smartly, just pushing down the mid lane. It seems like they didn't go for the tower. I think they could have went for the tower, and then Polar Ace can just go straight back onto the Baron. Like, they don't have any vision over there. They made sure of that.
Yeah, I think that Polar Ace was trying to bait out the Baron because they have, 3 pink wards. They knew that Cetra didn't have vision, and Cetra just didn't really take the bait.
Yeah. One thing to note is that the teleport is in favor of Toads. Toads is going to teleport on in, but now Indigo is getting very low. Hey, their losers tries to get in onto him. The K-Man will get a kill for himself. Teleport will not go through, however. Juju was able to use the disdain to stun up Toads for a little bit longer. Kessel's going to get knocked up. He tried to look for something more, but Sean gets a kill for himself, and now Mango gets taken down. That is 4 members down on Cetra and only 2 members down for Polar Ace. Definitely going to be a big advantage for Polar Ace because having the teleport down from Toads not being used in a way that would be helpful to them in that fight at all. And Juju in the next minute, or minute 30 seconds, I believe, should have his teleport up, and that's when Polar Ace can pull the trigger and go for this Baron.
Yeah, it's really weird that Indigo was like face checking first into the Baron, and just because of that, Hey There Losers just found him out and just one-shot him pretty much by himself. And I didn't see what happened on the other side of the fight, but Kessler was able to pick up Hey There Losers. It looked like K-Man as a beast was just by himself trying to fight like 1v3 into Bichon, Jack, and Booper, and it looked like he was able to kill Booper, but it's not what you really want to see coming out from Cetra. They should just ball up together, make sure Indigo can just get as much damage possible. They shouldn't really be diving deep. They can kill Hey There Losers really quickly because he is going full AP. He's working on the Zanyas right now. He does have the stopwatch, so that will help out Hey There Losers a lot, but they can kill him really quickly because he's just full AP as long as Indigo is able to auto him a lot. And they shouldn't be trying to like dive too hard in the backline. I think they should just play front to back on such a gaming side. But just really good team fight win overall for Polar Ace. Just picking out people from such a gaming. It looked like they're kind of panicked. So hopefully that doesn't happen no more. Looks like Jack's going in for a little bit of poke onto Kessler there. He is a mage, so it's harder for him to lifesteal back up or
yeah, now Toad's taking a lot of damage here. Mango's going to try to jump on in. But Sean does get knocked up, but Jack just kiting Toads away, and Toads has to back off immediately, getting super low there. And Polar Ace could pull the trigger and decide to go for Baron here. Toads is down. Ultimate comes out. They tried to look and see if he could get the ultimate on the Toads, but nice bind by Booper. Disdain has been used. The flash to follow up, and with Mango taken down, that is one of Cetra's main initiators taken down. And one thing to note is the K-Man as a beast is able to get on the backside of the Baron without anyone knowing, so there is a chance for him to look for something. Now they know. The control ward has been put down, and the K-Man trying to look for something. The rest of the team making their way on over. It's a 4v5, and now the hook does miss, but Sean uses the wall to block Toads and Indigo in. Bind is not going to land. Indigo is able to get an ultimate on him, but now the K-Man in the back line gets 2 for himself. Both bot laners taken down for Polar Ace. This is going to be really bad for them. K-Man staying alive for a little bit longer. Indigo taken down, but Sean and Hey There Losers and Juju running for their lives at the moment. Cetra Gaming able to turn that fight around. They forgot about the K-Man and just got destroyed. Hey There Losers is probably going to be taken down here. They want to try to get the kill over to Kessler or Indigo, and kill's going to go over to Kessler here, and Cetra Gaming making a nice play for themselves.
Yeah,
that was a really big play for Cetra.
Yeah,
K-Man really showing up in that fight.
Yeah, he was just able to just jump on Jack and Booper because they didn't have the Nautilus ulti at the start of the fight. They just got it just recently. So he was just able to just go in for free, just one-shot Booper and Jack once again. And then, yeah, and Bichon just in a really awkward spot since his damage carries are dead, or his Volley's dead. He can't really do much without them, and he was just able to get picked off by Kessler and K-Man again. And just really good by Cetra. That was a really good team fight by them. So I think Polar Ace just needs to play a little slower. It seems like they're just trying to force way too much.
Yeah, but now Polar Ace is going to go on into the K-Man. Bichon takes the dragon for themselves. And the K-Man did have the Guardian Angel, but was spotted out. Now Toad's tried to jump on in. Juju's going to use the extra speed and momentum to get himself onto Toads. The rest of Polar Ace are trying to ping out that they want to go for Baron instead and not go for a dangerous play. Kessler, however, is there, and the ultimate's going to come out. He's not going to be taken down. Redemption's going to heal him up just a little bit more. And now Polar Ace should be able to focus on this Baron without a problem. 20 seconds left until the K-Man is up. Toad's now deciding, should he go to the Baron or should he back here? Juju has the teleport. He could teleport back in, but now they're going to go on into Juju. Disdain has been used. He doesn't have the flash. He's going to be taken down here by Indigo. And now Polar Ace, because Juju was taken down, the K-Man, his beast, is back alive. Polar Ace is going to have to back off here. And definitely a scary play for them. If they were able to get Juju back to the base and teleport in, they definitely could have gone for this Baron, but because he got picked off, they have to back away. Now that means Cetra Gaming can look for this mid lane turret.
Yeah, kind of sloppy
That's
from...
two. Yeah.
Yeah. Really
Sloppy.
sloppy. They get the... They killed K-Man's a beast, and they just don't go straight for Baron. It looked like Juju was just looking more for Toads. When he doesn't really knew that. Like, the jungler's dead. It looks like already Cetra's going onto the Baron because they know they have to reset. If I was Cetra, I just tried to burn this Baron as fast as possible. And they are able to secure it and just get out as many people as you can. Polar Ace is going to try to come off with the Talia ulti. Looks like they're going to cut off K-Man's a beast, but he should be able to drag flag and drag out and just be able to live because of that. Most likely. If he dies, it's not bad because he was able to secure the Baron for his team. Just 44 seconds gone on Baron for a bit because you want to wait for K-Man as a beast to come back up for him to utilize it. Their Baron. Four of their members have Baron now for Cetra, which is really good by them to notice that Polar Ace has to reset after they just tried to do a Baron attempt. So right now they should just try to reset the waves, go down in the bot lane or the top lane since top lane still has its first tower. And just try to get as many towers as possible. You're probably not going to be able to open up the base of Polar Ace with this Baron, but you're going to be able to get most of the towers like on the map, most likely. So hopefully they're able to, with all their vision they have in the top side, they should be looking top lane here and trying to get all their top lane towers. And K-Man's a beast should be clearing out this mid wave because mid prio is really important, and him just clearing out this mid wave, make sure that they don't lose as much farm, the XP. And you know that Bichon's not up there because you look at all that vision they have in their top quadrant of the map. So yeah, right now they're just wasting a lot of their Baron, just recalling and just not doing much with it. They're not pushing any towers, not threatening anything. So I'm not sure what their comms are, but this is kind of weird. It looks like they're looking for Toads. Oh, gets hit by the Black Binding.
Yeah, the binding's gonna land, but Sean is gonna knock him back, and Toad gets taken down, and this does mean Polar Ace is gonna have a 4v5 situation. Cetra Gaming realize that the rest of Polar Ace is on the bottom side of the map, so they're gonna have to make their way over to the mid lane. Hey there, losers is ready to go and there to help out, but turret's already gonna fall. Not much they can follow up with. Bashan, however, is going to use the wall to get himself on over. One member is going to be blocked off and put into the river, but not much he can really follow up with. Bashan's going to use the blast cone to go over and gets himself in a really dangerous position. Stopwatch has been, or Zonia's has been used, and really bad for them. Now it looks like Mango wants to go on in. Hater loses with a very nice hook to stop him there. Jack in a very dangerous position. Nice flash for him. The K-Man Beast is trying to get himself away. Hater loses with the Zonia as well. Should be able to flash away without a problem. Booper with the flash on forward. Teleport's coming on in. Toads wants to try to turn this fight back around. And one thing is for certain, the K-Man getting on that back line and disrupting everything is definitely going to hurt them in the long run. Toads is getting slowed. Teleport's coming out once again. And that's going to be, hey there, losers. He does have the hook. Doesn't have his ultimate or the flash to follow up with. But because he's able to teleport back in, they should be able to push this mid lane up without a problem. Bashan making his way back over in about 4 seconds. And the next dragon should be in the favor of Polar Ace. They could set this one up and maybe even look to burn it down before the K-Man walks on over to next Ocean Drag. If they're able to get 3 Ocean Drags, this will be huge for Polar Ace.
Yeah, Cetra Gaming has a. It seems like they have a problem just overextending for more and more. Like they just want more. Like they just got the Bichon pick, and then Mango just went in 1v2 onto the Morgana and hey, they're losers. Like he doesn't really need to be doing that. Like they still had Baron up. Now that the Baron, they legit did nothing. They just got tier 2 mid tower. Yeah. So like they just need to like calm down a little bit, not go too over aggressive. Just make sure you can play your game. K-Man's Beast went in 1v, like just tried to 1v1 Jack, and at this time of the game, like Jack has his items already, he has his lifesteal, so
75% crit. Agreed.
Yeah, like he can't really one-shot Jack if he's just by himself. And right here, ooh, this big chunk on Mango. Looks like they're trying to cut him off.
Yeah, to wall him off. Kessler's in a really bad spot. Bind is going to land. QSS is going to come out. Mango still doesn't have a way to get on over, so Jack is going to be able to burn him down. And that is going to be 1 kill for Polar Ace. Mango has been taken away from the situation, and now Polar Ace should be able to put push his mid lane. The K-Man still waiting on the other side. He does have GA and wants to try to get on the back line. Jack wisely placing himself on the bottom side. Bind is gone. It has missed, but it does look like Polar Ace will have no problem with pushing out the base. K-Man is not able to follow up with anything as the rest of Polar Ace is too strong, and his engaged duo is what you can call him, or whatever you want to. Mango is not there to help him out, so now the mid lane inhibitor is going to be taken down, and Polar Ace will be able to get themselves back into this game and into the lead that they had before they made a couple mistakes around that Baron.
Yeah, and right now they just got that mid inhibitor, so which is pretty good for really good for Polar Ace. They're gonna have to. Looks like Indigo's gonna get this top lane tower, and then they should be trying to get wards onto Baron, and be trying to get picks on people trying to get. Cetra Gaming should be trying to look for picks on Polar Ace, like trying to get wards on Baron since it's about to respawn. They already have really good vision control on the Baron, but they should be looking for a pick on somebody that's like by themselves or just this top lane here, which is perfect by them. Hopefully they can get this Morgana. It looks like Mango showed. I don't know why he showed. Oh, there you go.
Waiting on over. Pooper's
yeah, it looks like they're gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, just take him down. And Bashan now getting a really bad spot. Toads used the ultimate to try to get in on him. Redemption has been used. Urgot's making his way on over. He realizes Booper's been taken down. So Cetra Gaming now are going to call for this Baron. They're going to be able to burn it down pretty quickly here. And now the wall's going to come on out, pushing away 2 members, but they still are able to get some damage onto the turret themselves. They have the range for it. Bashan's going to have to try to do something here to get on over. Does not have the ability to burst it down, but still, Polar Ace is going to go back on in. Hey, their losers gets destroyed. And Toads is going to be pushed into the Cataclysm walls. GA is going to be used. Jack is going to get 1 kill for himself. Juju tries to get himself away for a little bit longer. Mango and Indigo using their flashes to take down Juju. And now one thing is certain. Baron is up for Cetra Gaming, but the mid lane is being pushed up for Polar Ace. Mango on the other side of the wall. I did not know yet. Bashan and Jack realizing, now making their way on over. Kessler now may look for something here, but decided just going to back away instead. And that Baron buff will definitely help them hold the waves that or hold the lanes, as Polar Ace have the ability to push it out. They both teams have really good clear of the waves, and it's going to be difficult to keep the pressure up. But hopefully, Cetra Gaming will be able to push and actually use the Baron like they should have last time.
Yeah, like right here, Cetra Gaming should just group up as 5 and just push it down mid lane. You have a really good team fight, right? Just wait for Meganar to come up just barely, and then you can just dive Polar Ace's comp. They do have like a couple of Zanyas, but you can just dive them, but it seems like they're not going to go for that play. It is kind of risky, but you can do that, mostly with your team. The GA is not up for Jarvan, so maybe they're not going to pull for that, but they should try to look for any side waves, get Toads on a side wave. You don't have to calm down for every TP. Dragon's about to be up pretty soon. What dragon is this? It's the Elder Dragon. So it looks like they're going to push out this top wave with Toads, and then he's going to recall, maybe even TP. He has a TP ward. It looks like you can see the Cetra Gaming's pinging the wards that he can TP to. to get a TP flank. It's gonna be kind of scary to TP mostly against a Caitlyn and a Morgana, but he can do it. Polar Ace already has vision set up around the Elder Dragon.
And they are just gonna start it up.
Yeah, they can just start it up.
Yeah, they're going to be able to burn it down pretty quickly. Wall's going to come out, so they can try to block the Cayman away. Teleport is coming on down. Cayman's going to jump on over, going to get it. He is going to get the Elder Dragon for his team. Cataclysm is going to follow up. He gets taken down, however, and Hey There Losers gets bursted down by Indigo. Fight's looking good for Cetra Gaming at the moment, but now the damage is coming on through the 3 members left. Jack, Bashan, and Booper pushing on forward. The Elder did go in their favor, and Indigo gets pretty low. Bashan's going to use the stopwatch to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Booper is going to be taken down by Kessler. The burn will hurt him a lot, and now Kessler gets taken low, but it doesn't matter.
And that is a really big fight. That was a crazy steal from K-Man.
Yeah.
Turning the fight, so it's... Baron's almost gone, but they have a fresh Elder on 2 of their members. And it looked like Bishan did want a double stopwatch. His first was really good, and then he didn't get the second one off because of how quick the combo was. But that was a really back and forth fight from both sides.
Yeah, and one thing to really look out in that fight was, Hey There Losers tried to get in on the backline himself and burst Indigo down, but because he has the protection from Mango and Kessler was there as well, he just got shredded through, and now this is where Hey There Losers is going to start falling behind. The amount of damage that he can do he does have a fair amount of damage, but when it comes to these team fights, he's going to have to position himself in a different way, more of a protection for Jack and Bashan, rather than being the main source of damage for them. Because as we just saw in that fight, taken down with ease and then became a 4v5 at the start of the fight without a problem. K-Man gets the Dragon for his team, and then extra little bit of damage from the Elder makes the fight go in Cetra's favor. Did end in a 2 left versus 1. But like you said, Baron is down, but Indigo and Kessler still have theirs. But Sean accidentally uses the stopwatch, I think.
It was the second stopwatch that he had from earlier, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit of a blunder coming out.
Yeah. It's okay, he still has the main stopwatch. Now he can just buy control wards. Yep, exactly what I like to see.
Yeah, now Mango's going to go on in. He's going to use the disdain. Mango's going to get taken really low, but Juju now is the target. It's going to be taken down. Redemption is going to come on through. Cetra Gaming healing themselves up. Is looking pretty good at the start, but then the rest of Polar Ace had to back away. And Mango still trying to push on forward, and now down to 20% or even 15% HP left. Cetra Gaming focusing on the bot side. Turret wall is going to come on down. The K-Man doesn't have the flag and drag anymore. He's on the opposing side of the wall, but the rest of the team has so much damage. They're going to be able to take him down. Jack now is going to be following up with something more. Gets a kill for himself on the toes. The K-Man's going to be locked down and not going to find anything else. Bashan is going to have the stopwatch to get himself away for a little bit longer. Indigo and Mango looking for the kill onto Jack and just gets burned down. Cetra Gaming looking good right now to get a shutdown for themselves. Bashan follows up with another, and they're just going kill after kill in these fights. Bind does miss from Booper. Spell has been blocked. A lot of damage coming out from Indigo and Kessler right now. It's so hard for the backline to do anything because K-Man is just getting on top of them, and then they have to focus that, and Indigo and Kessler follow up with so much damage from a distance. And one thing, you know, with Hey There Losers, it just seems like he's not getting the right positioning that he wants, and also didn't seem like he had ultimate that fight, did he?
I don't believe so. I think that he was just trying to lock down, like use Bishan's wall to lock in the Jarvan, and then the range from Cetra was just still able to get to him.
And that's going to be really bad for Kessler here, actually. Taking a look at it, they're going to go for this scuttle. Kessler is in the brush. Polar Ace will be able to get that for themselves. Kessler waiting in the brush with Toads now. Just going to clear out the vision, and they may actually decide to start it up. They have a lot of damage to burst it down. Now both sides are going to make their way on over. Kessel's going to keep the pressure away from Hey There Losers, and now they want to get this Baron. Baron's going to be taken very low. Jarvan's going to get it once again without a problem. Third Baron of the game is going to go over to Cetra Gaming, and they were able to use it pretty well last time, but not as well as they wanted to. And, you know, Polar Ace has got to try to do something soon. They are lacking in these team fights when it comes to positioning and working on it. Toads is going to get knocked up, but Polar Ace has to try to do something very soon. Baron is for Cetra Gaming and has the advantage here. Yeah, guys, what do you think? What do you think Polar Ace has to do? Because right now it's looking really good for Cetra.
Yeah, right now Indigo has sold his boots for a Mercurial Scimitar, which is gonna be really good to CC the QSS coming out from the dodge, the Morgana binding, and the Nautilus. It's gonna be really helpful, and an extra lifesteal. So he's
100% crit.
Yeah, he's max on like items now. He can't buy anything else. And for Polar Ace to win this fight, they just need to get a pick and just like reset the fight like with that pick, because they do have 3 water dragons, so they can sustain in fights a lot longer than Cetra Gaming can. So right here, they're just gonna force this dragon. I think if it were me, I just make Jack be hitting it, because you're using a lot of the Talia grounded work ground, so she won't be able to really team fight as much. So right now, I would just make Jack hit the Elder Dragon if they want to do Elder. Or right now
They do have triple ocean, so
Yeah, the Dragon's
they have a lot of
burned
sustain
on down. It does look like Heyman's going to be able to get it, and he's going to be taken down without a problem. Booper's going to use the zone just to keep himself alive a little bit longer. Flashes on away. Juju now the one in the front line for Polar Ace, trying to get himself back away to his team so that they can heal on up. With that pick, it should help them out here. But the one thing is, the K-Man, with those smites every single time, able to get the objectives for Cetra Gaming, and now they have the second Inferno, or second Elder of this game.
Yeah, I felt like that's really weird. Like, Jack didn't place any traps either, and then Bishan couldn't just split them off, because you saw how Toads and Mango were. They were split off from their team, so it's kind of weird that they just didn't engage onto Toads or Mango with the Talia wall. Because they couldn't reset the Baron or the Elder for sure, right there, or just like hard engaged on Mango and stuff like that. But they were able to have all 5 still alive, which is still really good. Toads is getting this top lane tower, which is really well. All the waves are starting to push towards Polar Ace right now. Might be looking to get a pick. Okay, no, they're not. This game is like going like really 50-50. Like I said in the pregame though, like, they both have really good team fights. It's just going to be like... It's just really difficult for both teams. And it looks like Indigo sold one of his items in bought boots again. It sold his last lister. Is that what it was? I think it was.
Probably a little more comfortable with the extra speed, I guess.
Yeah, the extra move speed just to dodge out from...
it was a Bloodthirster.
Oh, Bloodthirster. Okay, he sold his Bloodthirster for boots. I guess that's fine. I guess he does have to dodge a lot of abilities this game, so I do not question him on that, or I don't think that's bad at all. But
don't hold it against him.
Yeah, but right here, I really like what Cetra is doing. They are doing 4-man bot and then one person mid. You can't really siege. I don't know why Jack's not placing any traps at his tower, because then it makes it impossible for Indigo to walk up and hit the tower. Like, he probably... It's really weird. He has 5 traps right now, and he just placed 1. So he's just letting him take his bot lane inhibitor for free. Looks like Mango is
Mango's going to go engage onto him. The ultimate's going to come out from Juju, but not able to take him down. And now he will be able to, but the QSS follows up to keep himself alive. And Cetra Gaming is just going to run through Polar Ace at the end of this game, which should mean we're going to go on to a game 3. Wall's going to come on down, and they're going to wait for the minion wave to come up. Now Bashan's going to land a nice knock-up. Toad still does have his Guardian Angel right now. Keep himself alive. Hey There Loser's not going to be able to do much at the very moment. Gets a hook onto the back line. Bashan gets taken down, but the rest of Cetra Gaming going to focus on the Nexus. and that will be game number 2 over to Cetra, and this is going to be a 1-1 going into game number 3.
Yep.
And that really looked like, Cetra got an advantage and just had complete tempo over the rest of the game. Polar Ace wasn't really... They didn't really get to interrupt it. Like, I don't think a fight happened after the first Baron where Cetra didn't either have Baron or Elder on some of their members. Like, they always had a buff on them. They got pretty much every objective after that.
Yeah, and after every fight too, it was always 3 for 3. But the 2 members that are always alive for Cetra Gaming are always Indigo and Kessler, the 2 strongest. They're 2 strongest players. While for Polar Ace, it was always like Bishan, Booper, or it was like Bishan, Hey There Losers, or just 2 other people that can't really wave clear, just be able to deal with Indigo or Kessler all as well. So overall, pretty good game going on for Cetra Gaming. Their morale is probably really high right now. K-Man's a beast, played like a freaking beast for sure. Getting all those objectives for Cetra Gaming. Just looked like Polar Ace just couldn't continue their snowball. They seemed kind of panicked. They did get 3 water dragons, but if those are like mountain dragons, they probably would have been more comfortable doing Barons. But overall, it just like they just felt like they couldn't. It looked like they couldn't continue the snowball at all, which is kind of weird. Is they definitely could have snowballed that game a lot faster, and they just didn't really play their comp all that well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, with that being said, we're going to take an intermission and to get ourselves set up for game number 3 of the series, 1-1 Cetra Gaming versus Cetra Gaming versus Polar Ace. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
oh, these games are.
Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Rise, push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Rise. Welcome to the climb up, reach for the summit. Visions brave and one false step lead the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. They will remember you. It is you fight among the dead beneath the dirt. Or do you know yet? Or do you want it? And when the giants call to ask you what you're worth, do you know if we don't die? Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you.
We're actually going to move it. Oh, wait. What? Did I not beat my mic? Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, whatever. I guess I didn't mute my mic through that entire
They did
thing.
nerf that.
But we are back and ready to go. One thing I want to say is that we're just going to get started as fast as possible. Both sides deciding what they where they want to go at the very moment. And we're getting each individual person into the custom lobby at the moment. Yuki, Tacit, I believe you guys just got the invite. If you haven't, Tacit, there we go.
Accepting now. Okay, cool.
Oh, there we go. Sweet. Yeah, we are ready on this side. The pro draft is going to be coming up in just a moment. But it does look like Cetra Gaming is going to be on the blue side once again. And Polar Ace is going to be on the red side. Like I said earlier up on in the match, something to note is that any team that has the blue side seems to have the advantage. And you know, it worked out for them. They were able to get the advantage in this one, and I wonder how that's going to play out for them. And maybe it's just that these teams are more comfortable when it comes to playing on the blue side, you know? Sometimes the red side can be a little odd when you're playing on it, even just visually, and the blue side feels a little bit more comfortable. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I'm definitely one of those players who prefer a specific side on the map, and it could be a game changer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a preference. I know that there are actually some like stats websites that you can go to, and you can check your win rate on different sides of Summoner's Rift to see like
I definitely have a preference.
what side you win more on. But
I like red side more, just because of you get counter pick for one of your teams, or last pick, and then you can. It's easier to play bot lane red side. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
blue side, you get to pick 2 champions at the same time twice, which is a pretty nice benefit too. Depending on like what, if you pick like a pair, you can pick 2 pairs.
Yeah. All right. Well, with the last game and the way it went, how do you guys feel about game number 3? Because Cetra Gaming was looking pretty good. Polar Ace was looking good. But one of the things that we were really focusing on was the fact that there were so many little mistakes, players getting caught out, objectives being taken when they weren't, when they shouldn't have, or even plays where the objective was taken for free and there was no contention on it. Do you think that's going to be a factor in this game? And who has the favor going into game 3?
I'm not sure right now. I think the early game definitely goes to Polar Ace. I think they've been playing the early game really, really well. One thing that I've been seeing is mid game for Cetra is kind of wonky. Like there's a lot of over aggression, and just they keep going for more when they just get something for free, like a free pick, and then they keep going for more and more, which is not really good. Because then they can lose so much momentum off of that. So I like to see Cetra Gaming kind of calm it down a little bit when they're going for more plays. And so
And now we have moved on over to the pick and ban phase. I believe you both should have the pro draft ready to go for yourselves. First ban is going to be the Zac taken away from Bashan. As we saw in the first game, definitely something that was devastating Polar Ace. Also having the Jhin taken away, making sure Jack and Don have that and be a preference for him. Vladimir, just very normal and consistent ban that you see in the Champions League. Zoe, Sejuani, Rakan as well being taken away. You know, for me, I see a lot of Zoe bans, and maybe it's just that I haven't really noticed Zoe very often, but I never really saw her as much of a priority pick. And every single series that we've seen, Zoe has almost been the first ban for at least one of the teams every single time.
Yeah, Zoe's just pretty difficult to handle, like, once it hits mid-game, because she can set up so many of her team's, like, picks, pretty much, and then she just has a lot of, like, burst, obviously. And she's just, like, really annoying to play against, because she can normally get there first to almost anything, and she has really high wave clear. and so like she'll always most likely have
Mid prio.
yeah, she'll always have mid prio, and then so yeah, and already Polar Ace already picking a really strong just jungle top laner, just really two strong tanky people for Polar Ace,
Safe
and
picks.
then yeah, really safe picks. Like it's gonna be really, there's like nothing that can really like just kill them all that quick. So I really like that coming out, just adjusting a little bit. They see the Morgana, looks like the Urgot is being picked for the Cetra gaming side. I like that also. Just trying to get a lane bully onto the Scion. Urgot can definitely change the game around with his ultimate if he's ever able to get it off.
Yeah,
That's a matchup we've all probably seen 1,000 times. It's one of the staples of League of Legends
Yeah.
and
for the last year or so.
we saw it last game as well. One of the things that I kind of noticed was Urgot was not able to really get on to anyone last game, and when he did, the rest of his team was already so low that he was able to soak in a lot of damage, but he got taken down actually pretty fast for how tanky he was already. And I'm hoping that Cetra Gaming is able to use Urgot the way he should have been used, which was targeting someone out, getting the pick that they need, rather than this heavy frontline tank that's just going to sit there and soak up damage, because he does a lot of damage. You have the Urgot with the Conquer, you have the execution, and he can completely change the way a fight breaks out. And it just seems like Polar Ace wasn't able to succeed with that last game, and Cetra Gaming now taking it for themselves. Toads may have a better favor for it.
Yeah, and part of that was the Rakan build was kind of interesting last game. He had QSS and Righteous Glory, and there were at least 2 different fights where Urgot ulted Rakan and Rakan QSS to the second part, the pull in before the fear. So I'm not sure how intentional it was for Rakan to be tanking the Urgot ultis, but that was like pretty high value for Cetra's side.
Yeah, now the picks are coming on through. Jarvan, Scion, Orianna for Polar Ace, Morgana, Urgot, and Kindred. That Ashe pick is not what you actually think. It is going to be the Kindred in the jungle, and Sivir most likely going to be in the bot lane. Now, Polar Ace has grabbed Lulu. There's a couple of ADCs that they could possibly look for in this matchup. They still have Tristana open. They have the Jinx open. Jinx probably not as a pick that they wanted, but what do you guys' thoughts?
Jinx is banned, but it might be the Tristana, like you said. It could be the Kog'Maw.
I'm not looking. I guess my bad.
It's all good. Yeah, might be the Kog'Maw just because of the. Yep, it is the Kog'Maw. So the Kog'Maw with the Lulu is really strong bot lane duo during the Ardent Censer meta, but it's still really strong. Right now, Polar Ace is just going for a straight ball comp, pretty much just like protect your ADC, protect your mid laner as much as possible. So Polar Aces just has to play this early game really well. They scale pretty much infinitely with their comps that they are, the team that they have. Cetra has also picked Zillion, which is really good against the Orianna. And just to revive somebody, and they went for the Zillion Kindred combination, which is what you've seen Cloud9 run all the time last season. So really like that coming out. They have a lot of damage to deal with this front line of Polar Ace. It's just up to Cetra Gaming to see if they can abuse Polar Ace's early game, because so far, in my opinion, I think Polar Ace has just been winning the early game throughout this entire series. And let's see if Cetra, if they ever get early game, a really good early game for themselves, will they be able to close out as efficiently? So
yeah, and with the way Polar Ace has been playing, just like you said, it is very interesting to see them play a late game composition. But I will also note this, one thing that I did say yesterday and to keep an eye out for with the Champions League. You don't see this very often, but it's just something that you have to notice if you've been watching all of the weeks from the Champions League, that whenever a team picks a late game composition here in the Champions League, for some reason, there's a really high chance they do well in the early game. It is the weirdest thing. I don't understand it, but it is something that happens almost every single time in the Champions League. Polar Ace plays aggressive early on, they do really well with it, they play a late game composition, and honestly, I could see a couple kills being put onto Orianna, onto the Jarvan, and maybe even Kog'Maw in the early stages of this game, and that's not how it should go. But you know what? Hey, it happens. I'm going insane.
Yeah, Polar Ace's mid lane duo, the Orianna and the Jarvan. Jarvan might be looking for a level 2 gank on the Zillion. That could just happen. Kindred has to be playing really safe pretty early on, because if she ever runs into Jarvan, or Jarvan ever gets to jump on Kindred, it's pretty much doomed for the Kindred. She just dies because she is a ranged champion that is pretty squishy. So yeah, I'd really like to see Cetra just focus on this top side for sure. Like, you have the Urgot, you have like a winning lane, like just focus on him, just try to kill Sion at least once, and hopefully Cetra Gaming can help get Kindred these marks too, because getting the marks for your Kindred is going to help her out so much in later on stages in the game. Kindred late game is just as strong as Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw is paired with the Lulu, so Cetra Gaming's bot lane is really strong against Polar Aces, but the Kog'Maw and the Lulu can trade a lot more efficiently against the Ashe and Morgana. Or not the Ashe, the Sivir and the Morgana. So we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Once Kog'Maw is able to get 2 items, he's gonna be really hard to deal with, so I want to see how Cetra Gaming can play around the Kog'Maw and the Lulu.
And this is gonna be really interesting. They have the Jarvan, you know, his standard buffs up the Kog'Maw. They have the Orianna, and then they have the Sion to stand in front of all of them. So that'll be really interesting to see. Then I'm also wondering what Keystone Kog'Maw is going to take. Is he going to go, you know, Halo Blades, Lethal Tempo?
Yeah, and yeah, Polar Ace also has the Wombo combo, the old Jarvan and the Orianna. Just jump in, Orianna ulti. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Another thing I really like is how they didn't put Halo Losers back onto the Nautilus. Not that the Nautilus is bad at all, but it's just like he couldn't really do much later on in the games in game 2. Like, he was just pretty much just presses R and then just does nothing for the rest of the time. He just dies. So it's nice to see him back on the Rage champ. And then I think this game is going to be really dependent on the junglers, which are Kindred and Jarvan. So yeah, I think the junglers have to really like step it up this game and just make sure everyone can get through the laning phases just fine. So yeah, hopefully that can happen.
All right, we got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. I have no idea what you guys, like, if you guys were talking about who's going to win, because I was so focused on fixing something. That was my bad. But if you have already said it, awesome, but I'm still going to ask. Who do you think, based on these compositions, the way that these teams have been playing, who is going to take home game number 3 of this series to put themselves in the 5th place position, which definitely is the better option here?
Oof, it's really hard to say.
Come on now, give me something. Give it to me.
I think what you were saying earlier, the team that goes with, or that has like a more late game comp, gets a lead early. Like, I could definitely see that happening this game, because the Kog'Maw, Lulu, like Polar Ace, I think has been playing bot side a little bit better. Like, I think they've come out with a lead in games 1 and 2, and then it's going to be up to them to like spread that around on the map. And the intermission, we were more talking about last game compared to instead of the game that's about to happen. Cetra, after they got that first Baron, both of us thought that they didn't really use it as well as they could have. Like, they had Baron and then they didn't get that top tower. It was still sitting there afterward. So, you know, if they can kind of clean up those mid-game plays and actually use the advantages that they get, I think that, you know, the game's going to be a lot closer, and it's going to be, I don't know, it's really hard for me to say. I think I like Cetra's draft a little bit better. but Polar Ace has been playing early better. So
Okay, Yuki.
Alright, if each team does both hit 6 items, I like Cetra's draft just a lot more, just because of the Kindred and the Sivir. But I think in the mid game, I think Polar Ace definitely has the edge there, just because they're more disruptive, the Scion and the Jarvan. And I like the Orianna pick a lot. Orianna is just can threaten the double marksman that Cetra has, but I think who will win this game? I think Polar Ace will win, just because of the Orianna pick. I think the Orianna ultimate will come in clutch this game.
Ooh, okay. He's calling it. Shockwave, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hyped up for this game number 3. I'm standing now. I'm ready to go. Spectators delay has finally gone through. Riot Games, please fix your system. It is so dumb. Okay, I gotta stop. All right.
I can relate to
get
that.
it.
We have to ask you though, Sonny, who do you think is gonna win?
Who do I think is gonna win? The better team. That's it. All right. That's all you have to know. The better team. See, it's so simple. People just think they're like, no. This is why they're gonna win it. No, they're better. All right. So we'll see who the better team is in game number 3. But to answer your question and actually go through with what I should say, I think I have to agree. If the late game is gonna be if it's gonna be 40-minute game, 6 items, set your game and looks good. Mid game, if Polar Ace can get that early lead like they have been, then Polar Ace. I personally think the way that Polar Ace has been playing, so I'm gonna go with Polar Ace on the final note. But better team. Keep that out there.
Better team. Yep. I've also been told that the better team always wins. So
Facts.
Our team lives by the motto of the better Yorick player usually wins, but there's not a Yorick in this game, so
big oof. All right.
It's a toss-up.
Now, it does look like such a game and walking on through the bot lane, maybe looking for something here. Kog'Maw has been spotted out. I forgot to zoom on through, and Mango is actually going to flash on forward. I don't think his bind actually went with him.
yeah, trade flashes with Jack though. Is able to get the Kog'Maw's flash. Oh,
ooh, nice. We got a bind on to Booper here. He's going to follow up with a little bit of extra damage. Booper gets taken down. Oh, he's going to take the ball. Oh, but the Ignite's not going to be able to follow up. That's going to be both flashes out of the bot lane from Polar Ace. And we talked about this with Bashan having the level 2 advantage over Kindred, being able to make these plays. But because he's on the top side of the map and there's the K-Man and the rest of Cetra are able to decide that Bashan is most likely going to be on his top side, then they can take advantage of that and maybe go look for a play on the bottom half of the map. But you know what? My idea is going to completely go off the board because Kindred started top side. What the? Okay.
it's kind of weird that Kindred started blue buff. I'm not sure what her jungle pathing is gonna be, but
I appreciate that you said that because it made me feel like I felt wrong for some reason. I was like, am I missing something here? Why is the okay? Whatever.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure either.
I think it is.
You just got wards inside of Bishan's blue side jungle. You can start your red buff and you can fight Bishan at his blue buff if you really wanted to as Kindred. But since he started blue side, he just goes Gromp and now to Wolves. It's kind of weird pathing to me. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in chat knows his jungle pathing. I'm not sure at all. But to me, I think that's really strange. I don't know. I feel like you want to kind of look for this Jarvan and maybe fight him, but you don't want to get jumped on by Jarvan.
Yeah, quite interesting to start that way. But right now, because Booper and Jack don't have their flashes up, they have to be careful. Indigo and Mango are easily going to be able to push up the wave, playing as Sivir, and also knowing that since Kog'Maw and Lulu have to play so safe, they can keep that pressure, allowing for Kindred to have more opportunity to go into the enemy jungle or to even look for this Scuttle Crab that's going to be spawning very, very soon.
I think that might have been a part of it. They did burn both bot laners' flashes early, so maybe the Kindred started blue side so that way she would end bot and could look for a gank.
Okay, I see. So the K-Man now is waiting on the bot side brush. Maybe want to look for something there, but doesn't want to take too much time because the mark for Kindred is going to be that scuttle on the bottom side of the map. And they're going to be able to take this way without a problem. Jarvan now making his way on over. Indigo taking a little bit of a damage there, but nothing else to follow up with. Now the K-Man's going to walk on over to Mango, pushing up to see if he can get a bind through the minion wave. Taking a lot of damage. Polymorph is going to be used. Bind is going to miss. And now Jack and Booper trying to turn this fight around. The K-Man taking a little bit of damage now. Bashan in the mid lane looking for Kessler. Bombs do land. Stunning up the jungler. Zillion making his way on over, but now the fight in the bot side of the map. K-Man's going to flash on in, knowing that Booper doesn't have a slash to follow up. Booper gets very low and gets taken down. That's going to be first blood, 400 gold, but Jack gets a kill for himself as well. Kessler now going to follow up. Mango with a beautiful bind. Barrier now is going to try to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but Jack, stays alive, and the flash from Bashan takes him down. What?
They're definitely playing like this is a game 3. Both teams.
I don't know what to say.
This is
What's happening?
games 1 and 2 kind of went this way, but much less extreme. Like there was a lot of, bot lane attention this series, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of summoner spells burn bot so far this game, and I'm wondering if they're gonna keep that up.
And with the 400 gold going over to the K-Man, that honestly, in my opinion, that's definitely something that's worth for him, because getting himself the lead, he got the stack from the Rift Scuttle already. He's got one, and then was able to pick up a kill for himself with the extra 400 gold being that first blood. I think that does give an advantage to Cetra here early on when it comes to K-Man and Bashan fighting it out. But now in the top lane,
Yes.
Toads is going to take a lot of damage here. Juju's going to be able to take him down without a problem. Polar Ace now has 3 kills in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like I said, I've been liking Polar Ace's early game a lot more, and right now they're winning really hard in the early game. Trying to get too many forced plays in the bot lane. Trying to really kill one of them because they had no flashes, but sometimes you just can't overforce. Like I've been saying, Cetra's just so far in the series just been looking like they've been overforcing a lot. And then I'm just not sure about that Toad death. That was kind of weird for me.
Ooh, now in the mid lane, Bashan going on in. Very nice shockwave from Hey There Losers is going to take down Kessler without a problem. Very well played by Polar Ace there, and like you said, the aggression early on by Polar Ace is just so good. And now because Hey There Losers has the advantage, they should be able to take control of this dragon. One thing to note is that it is going to be the Mountain Drag. And we've seen many times before that teams sometimes even prioritize the Mountain Drag over an Infernal Drag, because if you get 2 Mountain Drags, that means you can burst down these objectives so quickly, and it makes it so hard for anyone to defend against.
And in early Mountain Drake means it's easier to take turret plates. That's something that could be really big also. And this is... Kindred's at 3 marks already, so...
Yeah, now Mango's going to land the bind on the Jack. Damage back and forth. Polymorph's going to keep Indigo away. But one thing to note, if you look at the map on the bottom right of your screen, the K-Man is a beast, is going to take that dragon by himself without a problem. And now Cetra Gaming should have the Mountain Dragon. And, well, it should help them in the early stages of this game, because as we're seeing, the late game composition, by the way, is doing well in the early stages of this game. Oh, I don't understand. All right, good job, Cetra. You got the mountain. Let's go. So what's next? Give me something.
Alright, so it looks like K-Man is just trying to pressure this bot lane a little bit more. They do have a ward on the blue buff. It looks like K-Man's trying to get rid of this blue buff from Hey There Losers. Big trade going on in the top lane. It looks like Juju is winning that
But
trade.
now on the bot side of the map, the Cataclysm is in. The K-Man staying alive for a little bit longer. Gets the heal for himself, but the K-Man now has the Zillion ultimate on top of himself. Tries to get something, and Bashan is just going to take down Mango. They're trying to follow up with a little bit more. Jack getting his way and takes down the jungler for Cetra Gaming. That is 2 kills for them. Now Bashan making his way over the wall, getting some vision control for his team. And Polar Ace looking good in the early stages of the game. It is 8 minutes, people, and we have 7 kills.
Yeah, and then like this entire thing, we've just been talking about mid prio, and Hey There Losers pushed in his mid wave and then was able to roam to the Jarvan. Bishan, they're a lot faster than Kessler. Like Kessler is playing a zillion, he's not shoving the wave as fast as possible, it seems, and just the losers just be able to come there first and help out Bishan, and really forced play that was being shown, that was like seen by Polar Ace. Like they saw K-Man going on that blue buff, and they just committed to the call. Mingo is level 4, so he's very squishy against a level 6 Bishan. Is able to just take him out really fast. And then if you look at the vision right now, Polar Ace has 3 control wards now in their bot side. They just all have control wards like pretty much everywhere to like make sure they can see where K-Man is, because they know how K-Man is a big part of their team. Like he's been pretty much carrying this team through the early game as much as possible. But right now, Bishan is just doing super well to counteract that. About to take one of his marks also, which is quite huge. And then Polar Ace's bot lane just playing how they need to be played, which is
yeah. Now
really
Bashan's going to go on into Toads. Juju is there to help him out. Disdain has been used. He's going to flash away back to his team to try to stay alive for a little bit longer. And as you said, Bashan was able to take away the stack from the K-Man, which is going to be pretty big in this early part of the game. If Polar Ace can keep the pressure up and keep Kindred down, makes it a little bit more difficult. But now Juju's going to go on in. They know he doesn't have the flash, and the Disdain gets him a little bit further under turret, but it doesn't matter. The Cataclysm is going to come on down and take Toads out.
Yeah, just really good play by Bishan there. Toad's playing super aggressive. You just fought Bishan. I don't know why you're going back to go like trade with Juju, but Juju hitting a perfect Sion ulti to knock up the Urgot right there. Juju's just been playing really consistent so far this entire series, and he's going for the shy build, the Frozen Gauntlet, it seems, with the Sheen. So I like to see that. And right now, Polar Ace's bot lane is just super far ahead, just full attack speed Kog'Maw. Just blew the shield pretty much for all his damage. Taking a pretty bad trade right there, but he's pretty much at the spot where he kind of wants to be. Hopefully he goes for the Blade of the Rune King build first. Just gives them lifesteal and just is able to just shred everybody on their team.
Ooh, now Hey the Losers is going to be focused down. The K-Man is a beast, wants to get the kill on Hey there. Bashan making his way on over. Shockwave is going to be used, and now the double ultimate from the K-Man and Kessler. K-Man is just going to walk away knowing that Kessler's ult is on top of him, but that is a big deal here. That is 2 survivability ultimates, or the only survivability ultimates out of these 2 of Cetra gone, which means Bashan and Hey there Losers is able to look for something, but now in the mid lane, Kessler has to use the Zonius to stay alive for a little bit longer. He's able to flash away, and that's actually a stopwatch. And I saw Patty's in the chat and just want to say hi. Hi, Patty. But that is Hey there Losers on the Orianna in this game. Dragon is coming up very soon, and because both ultimates are down for Cetra Gaming, it means that Polar Ace have a better chance at going for this dragon, and the kind of lead that they have is a lot bigger than Cetra wants it to be at the moment.
Those are pretty long cooldowns, and I said earlier that came in on Kindred, got 3 stacks pretty early on Kindred. It was like before 7 minutes, I think, that he held all 3, and they haven't let him get another one since. So he's not getting that 4 mark power spike that he is looking for. I think that's the 3rd or 4th mark that they've denied in a row.
Yeah.
Now Bashan just going to be able to take some CS away without a problem. And as you see, fair amount of vision here on the bottom side of the map to keep control over this dragon. And with the amount of denied vision, they could look for something in the mid lane on Kessler. He has his ultimate up very soon. But, ooh! Kessler with the 2,000 IQ puts the ward over the wall and realizes Boogeyman's over there and they have to be careful.
Yeah, really good ward from Kessler. I don't think he was in real danger though, because he's just trying to farm under tower, but they could just look for the dive onto the Zillion, so really good job from Kessler. Another thing to note is like this bot lane from Polar Ace is just playing really well, just being able, like Mango has just been roaming around trying to get picks for his team, and Jack and just Booper are just, they're like a ticking time bomb right now. So if they're just able to just keep scaling, just keep farming up, keep getting Kog'Maw's items, and Lulu to get her Ardent Sensor very soon, it's gonna be really hard to like deal with the Lulu Cog. So because they don't have much engage onto the Cetra.
Oh, yeah, but now on the bot side of the map, Cetra's going to go right on in. And Boober's going to be taken out without a problem. And the K-Man waiting down there on the bot side for a pretty long time to try to look for something. And now that will hurt Polar Ace's bot lane just a little bit. And it does get a kill over to the K-Man to get himself back into the jungle contention. He still is 2 levels down, and now Jack is taking the fight onto Indigo, taking a lot of damage, and both flashes used from the support and the AD carry. But Juju is gonna use the train and go on in. Indigo has to flash away. The teleport comes on out. Mango gets taken very low. Hey there, Losers is there. Gets a nice shockwave onto Indigo, and Toads is the last man left, but he still gets a kill on to the AD carry of Polar Ace. He's going to be sucked in. And Toad gets a kill for himself. Kessler on the other side of the wall. They could look for a possible engage here. The rest of Cetra Gaming making their way on over. The double bomb does not land because of the flash away. Now Toad's looking for something more. Gets a disdain off, but he is getting very low. The ultimate has been used by Kessler to keep Toads alive for a little bit longer. The K-Man trying to stay alive, but gets taken down. Now Juju following with something. He has his passive. They could look for another kill. And a nice combo from Bashan. Gets a double kill for Juju. What a fight. Woo! Oh, it's still going, actually. Kessler looking for something here. Double bomb. Doesn't miss. Or doesn't hit. Doesn't miss. What? Bashan is too low. And a very well played fight by both sides. Just a back and forth fight there. And Polar Ace, in the end, are going to take the advantage with the gold lead. Oh, something else. Come on, give me a break. Oh! Kessler getting low. Okay, we're good.
It's just the classic 10-man bot lane. They sent everyone bot. Lulu dies, walks straight back down when she spawns, just in time to get there to see the end of the fight.
The 5-minute 10-man fight. Come on now.
Two revive ultimates used, so that way the fight just went on as long as possible.
Yeah, that time they didn't mess up their ultimates. Kessler was able to save Toads with the Urgot, but he did eventually fall down anyways. But he was able to keep him as alive as long as possible to do as much damage. Overall, ooh, that's a really big chunk. Yeah, Halo Losers is just really strong on Orianna right now. He has his Ludens done. And he has Sork Shoots also. He's probably working on the Morello right now. And it just looks like K-Man's a beast, just trying to work this bot lane, trying to make them just be a non-factor, just trying to camp them as much as possible. If they're overextended, he's just there. He's trying to kill them. I think he might be building a Blade of the Ring King also on Kindred.
I think that's must be what those two items are going into.
Okay.
He's still stuck at 3 marks also.
Yeah, but right now though, Indigo's really strong. He has the Essence Reaver and the Zeal component already, just to Jack's Blade of the Ring King. So, and the Lulu doesn't even have her Ardent Sensor yet, but once she has her Ardent Sensor, it's gonna be a lot easier for Lulu just to be a factor in. Ooh.
Yeah, in the mid lane we saw the shockwave come out onto Kessler, but not able to follow up with too much. But the K-Man is a beast, stayed in the bot side for a little bit longer, but now it is going to be a fight in the mid lane and the bot lane. Hey, their Losers is going to be taken down without a problem. Bashan uses the Cataclysm to lock down 2. He still is under the turret. He's able to flag and drag away, but will Jack be able to get the kill for himself? And it is not going to be able to. Hey, their Losers gets taken down, and that is a 1-for-0.
Yeah, really good survive.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a control ward, and Boofer gone. Get taken away. Jack's down in a really dangerous position. The K-Man's going to go on to him. Indigo almost gets taken down by Jack, and now he's going to flash on forward, but Sean doesn't have anything left to save him. And what? Jack gets the kill. Oh, okay, whatever. The K-Man. Oh, he gets it. He gets the ultimate down, a triple kill.
That's a huge swing for Cetra.
Yeah, and he gets his 4 stack now. And now they can probably get this bot lane tower too. Mango trolled his stopwatch a little bit there, killed himself. Don't think he needed to stopwatch.
Is that what he did? I didn't know what happened. I was like, how did he die?
He stopwatched.
Yeah, he stopwatched and then it the Kog'Maw passive lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah. So K-Man is a beast, just able to pop off on that team fight. Honestly, just able to get that triple kill. Liz with his ultimate, Dresser's Bite, or whatever it's called.
Lamser Spite, you got it right. What a legend, dude.
Yeah.
And that's a huge amount of shutdown gold going to Cetra's side. They got the shutdown on Orianna, came in, walked straight bot lane, killed both bot laners, and then got the shutdown on Jarvan. So
Yeah. And right now, K-Man's a beast is probably gonna be working on that Rift Herald now. Indigo's gonna lane swap back to top lane. I really like how they've been doing that every single time. Each team has been doing a lot better at doing that instead of just keep going straight bot lane. K-Man's a beast is really strong. I'm not sure Juju wants this fight, but Bishan is there to go help him out. And he's able to force out the Jarvan.
Okay, another fight breaking out. We got the slow on the Hey There Losers trying to get himself out. The barrier has been used. Flashes away to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. They wanted to focus the Herald, but now they're going to turn their attention to Mango. Mango, however, is going to stay alive for a little bit longer. Kessler uses the revive, and Mango's trying to get himself out and alive. But Sean has the damage and takes him down. Polar Ace was looking for the Herald, but fight did turn around there when Hey There Losers stepped up forward in a really dangerous position, forcing out both of his summoner spells here. Now Toads is going to go on into Jack. Jack's going to be able to use the flash to get himself away. The K-Man looking for Booper has to flash away from that fight as well. Juju on the opposite side, but he still is being spotted out. So there will be no stun for him, and Cetra Gaming should be able to push out this mid lane turret. The only problem that they'll have is the bot lane duo, and Juju is not going to back. He was actually just going to clear out the wave, and so they're just going to go for this dragon instead and not listen to me, because that's you shouldn't. But dragon is going to be taken by Cetra Gaming.
Kind of a weird fight right there. It just looks like they got Jack's flash, with the Urgot flash trade. And then they got both of Orianna's summoner spells, which is really good. Right now they're letting a lot of top lane farm die.
Oh, okay. We got a bind from Mango onto Hey There Losers. We got the bombs to follow it up. Does Indigo have the damage and the nice shockwave? But it doesn't matter. Indigo gets the kill onto the mid laner, Polar Ace. Polar Ace making the way on over. Bind does land. There is no minion wave for Cetra to keep on pushing. But taking down Hey There Losers does give them an advantage to push out this wave. But Sean, Jack, and Booper are full health here, and there's a chance for Juju to look for something on the side. He is being spotted out. Cetra Gaming has a fair amount of vision on the bottom side of the map, placing themselves in the jungle. It may look for a pick here. Juju does miss the Q there, and now the rest of Cetra Gaming making their way on over. Toads, with a nice combo! Oh my word! Double ultimate from Scion and Jarvan to Cataclysm. The rest of Cetra Gaming. And that's an ace! What? That's a 4v5 ace! And that's gonna be Baron!
that was just a crazy.
That was a
ulti
wombo
from
combo.
Juju.
Wombo combo!
Well, that was
That ain't Falco.
the Scion and Lulu ultis? Is that what that was? The double knockup?
It was this Scion,
Yeah, and then Lulu.
yeah, and then the Cataclysm to put him. Oh, it felt so good!
That was just really well played by Ace. Came in trying to push, his lead because he's the most fed on Cetra's side, and
They obviously thought they could get that fight because they just killed Hey There Losers on Orianna, so they thought Juju's by himself, but then they didn't expect him to go. They thought he was going to ult out, but he ulted back in when his team was entirely there. He didn't go too early. He went in at the perfect time, was able to hit a perfect combo for his team, and right now they just secured Baron, which is huge for them. Let's see if Jack has enough for Quincy's. He's about to buy it in like 4 seconds, and now he's able to buy his Quincy's. So that's really good for him. He's at his 2-item power spike. Lulu has Ardent Sensor. Hey There Losers has his Ludens plus Oblivion Orb. So it's gonna be really hard to kill Polar Ace's comp. Right now they just need to use this Baron, try to get as many towers as they can to open up the map for them. And Indigo's on just wave clear duty in mid lane, working towards that IEE.
Polar Ace has a lot of standing gold. Like, all 9 outer towers are still up for Cetra, so they should be able to get a few of those with this Baron.
Mm-hmm.
And Kessler keeping the pressure on the top side. He has the teleport to his advantage. Having Kessler and Toads putting themselves on the side lanes while Indigo being the wave clear in the mid lane, they could possibly hold these waves pretty well. And what Polar Ace needs to do at this point is put 4 members into one lane while having Juju by himself in another, which will cause the rest of the Cetra Gaming to decide where they place their members. And with this Baron buff, it should be pretty easy. You have Jack with a fair amount of damage, and if they ever try to take a fight against you, we saw what would happen. It's just going to go into Polar Ace's favor. So right now, Polar Ace needs to pull the trigger and decide, do we have all of our members in one lane, or we just have a 1-3-1 situation? Orianna making her way on over, and she does have the shockwave. They could look for a play here in the mid lane. Kindred is on the other side of the wall to help out. The mid lane turret is going to be burned down without a problem. Now Juju's going to keep the pressure on the bot side of the map as well. And that's going to be 2 turrets for Polar Ace, exactly what they wanted to look for there. And by getting these 2 turrets, it opens up the bottom side of the map for Polar Ace and making it very difficult for Cetra Gaming to walk up and even try to get some vision down for themselves.
And plus, right now, Dragon's spawning fairly soon, and it's another Earth Dragon too. So if their Polar Ace is able to get this, their Baron is just going to be really quick with the Kog'Maw and the Orianna. Just being able to do that. You just have to wait for the Baron to wear off to do that. And right now, they're just shoving in the mid lane. Jack getting binded out, but just at this point, it's really hard to just kill Jack. They have nothing to really dive him. Toads is in the bot lane fighting Juju 24/7.
Nothing you can do. Oh, I do like Bashan on the opposite side of the wall, though. Trying to look for something. Jack with a lot of damage on the Mango is going to be able to take him down, but Kessler keeps his teammate alive for a little bit longer. Forcing out the ultimate from Kessler will definitely be a game changer if they try to look for a fight anytime soon. Kessler tries to look for the bombs as well. Jack making his way on over, but he is too damn fast. And now Juju's going to go on into the bot lane. Toads has to flash away. The Cataclysm's going to follow up, and he's going to be taken down. Now Polar Ace looking to the mid lane at the very moment. Jack's going to be able to push on. Oh my goodness. So much damage onto the K-Man. Jack now going to have to walk back in. A 4-man shockwave is able to follow up for Polar Ace. They're not able to get any kills for themselves, but that 4-man shockwave is going to save Jack for a little bit longer. He still has his flash ready to go, and Polar Ace is a lot healthier in this, a lot healthier at the moment, so they should be able to push out this mid lane turret without a problem, and then go for the dragon.
Yeah, and that shockwave forces the back from all of Cetra, like you were saying, so they get the tower and the dragon for.
And right there, Jack was just hitting K-Man as a beast the entire time, praying that he'd use his ultimate on Kindred, and then he did, so he was able to survive that. The 4-man shockwave was huge. They lose because of that 4-man shockwave. They lose their second mid-tier tower, which is really big. And right now, this Scion is just pretty much unkillable for Polar Ace, and it's gonna be really hard for Cetra Gaming to just do anything currently right now. They can't really like go to a side wave because of the rotations that Polar Ace can call out, because the Jarvan's really strong, and the Scion can always be there at any time with his ultimate or his TP. So right now they're just banking on Polar Ace to just be split apart right now, and then just trying to get a pick onto Polar Ace with the Kindred and the Zillion. So hopefully that happens. And plus the Kindred didn't go Black Cleaver, so she's not going to be really shredding.
Oh, Shockwave's going to land on the K-Man. He doesn't have his ultimate to follow up, so hey, their loser should be able to take him down. He is getting very low, and he's actually going to be able to get away without a problem. But Sean tries to follow up, and somehow the K-Man is able to get himself away. And now because the jungler is down, they could look for something. Mango doesn't have his Black Shield to keep himself from the stun. It doesn't matter. He doesn't get knocked up. Mango is trying to walk away at the moment. Flashes away. Booper trying to get the kill onto him, and he does. The support for Polar Ace is able to get the support for Cetra Gaming. And now because the support is down, that means that Polar Ace can look for this Baron, or they could even look for the top lane. At the very moment, it does look like they want to look for this Baron. Juju does have his teleport up. Toads has his teleport up. and they're going to have to fight for this. There's 20 seconds left until Mango makes his way back into the fight, and now Polar Ace's attention is on this Baron. The K-Man is on the other side. They may look to turn it into a fight rather than just focusing on the Baron. A lot of damage on to Polar Ace at the very moment with these bombs. Teleports are coming in. We see the teleport from Toads. Juju now is going to finally follow up. The Baron's going to go over to Jarvan. Toads is going to go on in. He is using the speed, and now Juju is charging on in, and a beautiful Cataclysm blocks them all in place. A 3-man shockwave is going to pull together Cetra Gaming, and Polar Ace is slowly but surely going to take this game.
Yeah, just beautiful flash and drag combo. The combo by the flash also just be able to knock up all of Cetra Gaming's back line right there, and just being able to just get the easy shockwave for Hey There Losers. Just
Okay. Jack going on in, bursts down. The K-Man is a beast, and now he's trying to follow up. Will he be able to get Mango? And he gets him with the snipe. And now Polar Ace looking to end this game, trying to push out or push up the lanes. At the very moment, the Cetra Gaming's wave clear is up in 4 seconds, but it doesn't matter. Polar Ace should be able to end this game. Jack is so far ahead, and Polar Ace put themselves in the 5th place position, and now will go against Impulse, while Cetra Gaming have to go against Fruition. I need my shirt.
the game that was.
Oh,
Okay, we're good.
that was pretty crazy, Baron. Like the whole exchange leading up to it.
Yeah. And the game really turned around that blue buff fight for sure.
All right, we're gonna fix our camera there. Game number 2, game number 3 is gonna go over to Polar Ace, and Polar Ace is gonna be able to set themselves in the 5th place position, going up against Impulse, while Cetra Gaming now has to go against Fruition. Guys, what are your thoughts going into the playoffs, and also what are your thoughts on All Stars?
For both? Which one first?
Yeah, let's start with All Stars, because we have All Stars next week, and then after All Stars is going to be the playoffs. So we're gonna start with All Stars, and then move up to the playoffs, and then we'll end it off.
Okay.
Well, I might be a little bit. I don't think I'm that biased, but I think playoffs is going to be pretty exciting to watch. I think both teams have, a lot of good players. Like top players from each team. Say that again.
Talking about All Stars, Germ. Hello.
Yeah. I'm talking about Oh, okay. No, I'm talking about All Stars. I think that we'll also get to see, Cerulean said it, but players that may not have gotten to shine as much during the regular season.
Like
Hopefully they'll get to show up and, impress us during All Stars. Hey, there's a good example. He just played, and I think he did really well in that series. Crazy 4-man shockwave. Just pressuring on Orianna, playing the matchup the way he should.
All right. Who?
I don't know. For All Stars, I really like Team Cerulean's team. Just because I like all those players, and then I don't know. It's pretty much a FE versus or Phoenix main versus all of Fruition
Coach Matt.
esports. Yeah, and Coach Matt. My bad. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be pretty interesting. We're gonna have to see because they have already built in synergy with each other. It's
Alright.
just so yeah.
All right. Now that we've talked a little bit about All Stars, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the playoffs now, because the way it's looking, I've said it, I believe, twice or 3 times now, but I'm just going to say it again. Impulse Ghosting is going to go head-to-head with Polar Ace, while Fruition is going to go head-to-head with Cetra Gaming. What are your guys' thoughts on that first round of the playoffs?
Wait, Impulse is going against Polar Ace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now?
That one, I
one's-
think, is.
That one's gonna be like a coin flip to me. I think both teams are really good at what they play. I'm not sure if I had to say 5v5 as a unit, I think maybe Polar Ace is better more because they have like I think they have just better players, mostly in like the mid lane and stuff like that. I'm not sure though. This one's really hard for me, but I think Polar Ace will probably win. I think it might go to. Is it best of 5? I think that it is
It's
right.
best of 3. The finals will be a best of 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, then I think Polar Ace can come do it, but I think Impulse is just as big of a threat also. If they can just play comfortable and just play their own game, then I think Impulse can just win also. But I'm gonna give the edge to Polar Ace. So.
All right.
I think that match is going to be closer than the. So in that match, I would say that they're probably closer to equals. I would also give a slight edge to Polar Ace. I think that they've been underperforming a little bit, but I think that they, have a lot of potential as a team. And then the Fruition versus Cetra, I would say that Cetra is probably the underdog team. Fruition was pretty close to coming in first and getting a playoff bye, but after the games yesterday, they have to play another team to work their way up into the top 4. But because of like how close they were to doing that, I think that they're definitely I think that they're arguably number 1 team. Like I think that there were several teams fighting for the number 1 spot, and it's hard to argue that they're not like the favorite going into that match.
Yeah, and with that being said, thank you, Tacit and Yuki, for joining me today. I hope you all enjoyed watching the Nightfall Champions League week number 7, and next week we will have the All-Stars, and the week after that we will have the playoffs. If you look in the Discord, we have just announced what the bracket is going to look like for the playoffs, and please keep an eye out for when we go live because these games are getting good, getting hyped, and ready to go. We'll see you all next week. Thank you once again for watching and have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for having us all night.
Mm-hmm.